You people are weak. You people are pathetic. Get over here. Good boy. Good boy. You people are weak. You people are pathetic. Get over here. Woman is a thug. I am a typical talking points and everything. So he's been on my radar. And when Charlie Kirk dies, this guy is like giddy. He is such a cynical, sociopathic operator. And I can recognize that. I see it. I get it. Total dark triad sociopath. He's going around selling himself like I'm going to be the successor, but telling everybody Charlie wants no one can replace him. He wants us to pick up the microphone. That's why I'm going to be the one to do it. And now after Charlie Kirk died, he immediately goes on Twitter and says, I'm partnering with Turning Point to do a campus tour. It's called the One Conversation at a Time Campus Tour. We're going to 10 campuses. I'm in a private jet. I'm hitting the streets. I'm going to all these campuses. Now, when I saw that announcement, I'm thinking, I thought Turning Point had this other campus tour. They got Tucker. They got Megyn Kelly. They got like big names. So I'm thinking, is this like a pilot program? That's kind of weird. Turning Point has an official campus tour to like honor Charlie Kirk, and it's got Michael Knowles, Tucker, like celebrities. And then here you got this 18-year-old college freshman with like no following, and he's like, Turning Point is sponsoring my tour. It's called the One Conversation at a Time tour. And I'm like, okay, so maybe he's like a new recruit. You know, they're like testing it out. Well, it turns out he just lied. That's not a thing. Like, he made it up. He went to 10 different local chapters and said, hey, will you host me? And they said, yeah, sure. And so then he goes on Twitter and says, this is a thing. That'd be like if I said, I'm going to go to 5 different McDonald's and eat lunch there. And then I went on Twitter and said, I'm partnering with McDonald's on the One Big Mac at a Time tour, sponsored by McDonald's, sold out crowd. I just had 3 Big Macs at the LaGrange McDonald's. Like, do you understand the difference? He called up 10 local chapters like college kids and was like, hey, can I do an event? I'll drive there. And they're like, sure. Okay, let's schedule it for this weekend. And then he goes on Twitter and represents it as though like Turning Point sent him, go, Brylan, do what Charlie would have wanted, complete his legacy, finish what he started. Like, that did not happen. That's crazy. That's so bold. And now he's getting called on the carpet for it. And rightfully so. What a snake, man. What a sociopath. You fucked up. He almost got away with it too. But Tyler Boyer called him out. He's a Turning Point action guy. So I saw that. I was like, wow. I thought he was a sociopath before because the guy's a total fake. Everything about him, he's media trained. He's like wrote a stupid fucking book, another book, you know, his book is called One Generation Away. It's from that Ronald Reagan quote. The Ronald Reagan quote, freedom is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. 1 generation away, how Gen Z is being like gay and pro-Israel. He's on Fox News every week. He's like the fakest human being I've ever seen. And then he did that. I was like, wow, like that's bold. I thought he was fake before. That's like next level. Next level. That's like some next level sociopathy, grifting, conservative. Like Charlie Kirk, maybe that is his successor, because that is some serious next level social climbing, manipulation. So I was sort of impressed. But yeah, Brylan, the old Brylan Hollyhand, I can't wait to see him get pressed on Israel. Everybody's going to be the next big conservative star until they get pressed by the Groyper saying like, hey, what do you think about Jews running America? And you get some yokel from Alabama who's like, Israel's our closest ally. Israel's our greatest friend in the Middle East. Y'all, Israel's like that old neighbor you can always count on. You know, when you're pushing your tractor and you run out of gas and you go to your neighbor and you're like, hey, can I borrow some sugar for my Can I borrow some sugar for my pancakes? And they're like, sure, neighbor, we're doing things different around here. Israel's sort of like that when they need missiles. Like, that shit does not fly when it's fucking 100 groypers deep asking you about dancing Israelis and like Jewish billionaires. This doesn't work. Sorry, pal. That whole country bumpkin, down home, aw shucks thing, it just doesn't work. Sorry, bud. You're gonna have to get a little more sophisticated. You're gonna need to download a little more internet. You're gonna internet a little harder. In the words of Candace Owens, maybe I internet too hard. Brylan Hollihan is about to find out the hard way what happens when you don't internet hard enough. Bro was not born of the trial by fire on the fucking far-right internet, on Twitter, on 4chan. It's gonna be a rude awakening, okay? He's giving like serious homeschooled by his grandparents energy, like the Walmart yodeling kid. He's like homeschooled by Mima, and it just isn't gonna fly, dude. Like your classmates, half of your classmates are part of a satanic cult. They worship school shooters. The other half are like making Hitler edits. They're watching America First in study hall. Like it's just not going to work anymore. Okay, dude, it isn't 2005 anymore. So that was the program. That's how it did used to work. It doesn't work that way anymore. So Charlie Kirk was maybe the last person that could get away with that.
Skeptical on Kirk being killed by Israel. Yet Erica Kirk's mom worked with Homeland Security and DoD. Her father a chairperson/president for Raytheon Israeli Limited. Easy to find online. This same division that coordinated with Lockheed and built the Iron Dome. Now she is PUSA. Watch it become a pro-Israel advocacy group.
Dude, it is a pro-Israel. What are you talking about? What do you think Turning Point is? Do you think this was the Institute for Historical Research? Was this the Charles Martel Society? Is a Stormfront? Iron March? This is Turning Point USA. It is a pro-Israel advocacy group. What are you talking about? Were you born yesterday? That like, you guys, that's the part I can't get over. So you're skeptical about Kirk being killed by Israel. Now his wife is taking over. Watch Turning Point become pro-Israel. Dude, they were Zog headquarters. He's coaching Lord Netanyahu on how to rape America with propaganda. What are you talking about? If Turning Point wasn't a pro-Israel outfit, what is a pro-Israel outfit, huh? That's crazy. To the extent, look, Erica Kirk is a spook. I've seen enough. Erica Kirk is a plant. We all know that. That is a fact. That is basically established. She was shopping around for a political husband. God knows where she comes from. She found one in Charlie Kirk. Do you think Charlie Kirk is the Riz master? He's not a good-looking guy. Dude, you know what she said on a podcast? I saw a clip of her on a podcast, and she said, I can't focus with him in the room because I'm just going to be looking at him. Now, that's some good acting. Now, you had me. Then I saw that clip. You know, maybe you had me when she did the first speech next to his chair. But when I saw that clip and she said, I'm not going to be able to focus with him in the room. He's too handsome. It's like, now that's some bad acting. That is some serious, that is a serious acting job. So I think she's a plant, obviously. But does that mean that they took him out to put her in? Not necessarily. I think that it's a political marriage. She's an operative. He's an operative. He happened to be killed. She's going to take over his responsibilities. It is what it is. I agree. I think she is not who she says she is, because there's all these clips coming out. She's in a music video. She's on these reality TV shows. I'm hearing she dated other people in the conservative movement. It's like, why is it that that's always the background? Alex Clark was on a reality show. Now she's doing a Turning Point show. Charlie Kirk's wife was on a reality show in a music video. Now she's a Turning Point. It's almost like you have these women, or people in general, but especially women, who are with a talent agency or they're with some agency. They'll do anything to be famous. They'll do anything to get in front of the spotlight. And then they find themselves marrying these like conservative guys or doing conservative political shows. Isn't that interesting? Candace Owens is another one. She's another wannabe fame whore, another clout whore. That's just what she is. She's the ultimate clout whore I've ever seen. You know where she came from? She sued one of her classmates for being racist. Then she started a company doxing people for being racist. Then she became the spokesperson of Blexit. So what is with all these conservative women that they'll do anything to be famous? They stumble into conservative politics and then they marry into political royalty. Candace marries George Farmer. Erica marries Charlie Kirk. That's what's suspicious about all this. Charlie Kirk was a shill. Doesn't deserve to die, but that's what he was. His wife was put with him in an arranged marriage. That could not be more obvious. With each passing day, you know, for 1 week, nobody wanted to say it. Then the memorial, people questioned the fireworks. Then they kept pushing and people started to say, all right, you know what? Go Ducks? Really? You see that? Then we start seeing the clips. Then we start finding out the parents' background, her background. Now people are saying, all right, enough. She want to be the widow, whatever. But she seizes control of the group. They start pushing her everywhere, and that's what it is. It's a calculated political breakout moment. All right, well, now you need to be scrutinized. And people are finding it to be very clear what she represents. Yeah, I'm fully on board that train at this point. People made it out like they were... It's so ridiculous. They made it out like this was a couple that was converting to Catholicism, okay? They said she's a traditional Catholic. He was converting. He was on the verge of turning against Israel. We found out none of that is true. She's an apostate. She was Catholic, became non-denominational. He was not going to convert at all. He was non-denominational too. They were not turning against Israel at all. We don't know who she is. She took over from him. That's who these people are. That's what they were then. That's what they are now. Is it tragic that he died? Absolutely. It's terrifying that there's going to be more political violence. I hope that's not the case, but let's just be so for real. Let's be so honest about what happened. Now that the dust has settled, we could be a little bit more direct here. So yeah, that's crazy.
Blue sent $50. Candace a freak FR.
This is so wang half, dude. Did you see that clip of Candace Owens? What did she say? What's the quote? I gotta pull it up. Who's got the clip? Dude, that was crazy. I didn't even think it was that hot though, at all. Candace Owens, crazy clip. What is it? Well, how could I even find this? If I just search Candace Owens. What's wrong with you, Mom? That's what she says. Let's Candace Owens freak. Try that.
Get to ask those questions. You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Ugh. Oh, man. People were saying that's hot. I don't think that's hot. I think it's just kind of... She's like pretending to be crazy. Real crazy would be hot. She's like pretending to be crazy, and she just comes across like retarded to me. Let's play it again.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Oh, man. I've seen this like 100 times in the past few days. Oh, jeez. She's lost it, man. She is full-blown Looney Tunes. Does she even know what's going on anymore? One day it's the Israel, then it's the feds, then it's an inside job, then it's Dairy Queen, then it's the Society of Bee Worshippers, then it's Brigitte Macron. Like, bro, take your medication. That's crazy. She needs to get 5150'd. And I know that's like a sensitive subject because we're mutual friends of Ye. When you're crazy, sometimes that you just need the help,
You don't
right?
get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Like you could see what she's going for. Like she's trying to sound crazy. She's trying to imitate like a crazy person, but it's just whatever this is, it's not working. Eesh.
You don't get to ask those questions.
What is that? You could see now George Farmer. You can see why he hit. George Farmer is facing a $500 billion defamation lawsuit from the French government. Crazy bitches will make you do stuff like that, I guess. Maybe that makes it worth it.
What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Ugh. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not a fan of all that. She seems retarded and crazy. That clip was just unhinged. I was disturbed. I actually feel sorry for her now.
Nicholson sent $30. Don't want you to be with a Slavic HG. Why want you be with a Scandinavian scared to get some hide in your genetics?
I just don't like their whole their whole deal, you know? They're too different from Italians. I'm going to need someone German, French. You know, I just, the Scandinavians, they just give off like a weird vibe to me. That's just me personally. I don't dislike them. They just give off a different vibe. Like, because me, I'm like fiery, I'm intense, I'm like hot-headed, and I feel like Scandinavians are too friendly, too like laid back. They're just kind of like, I was playing Call of War the other day and I was losing to this Scandinavian guy, and I was like, you know, you're fucking trash. You suck at this game. I just looked at your record. You lose every game. You're nothing. And he was like, LOL. So sorry, dude. Like, I didn't mean to attack you. Like, I was trying to be allies. He was so unbothered. And I feel like that's how Swedish and Scandinavian people are. They're too passive. Passive, laid back. It's just too much of a culture shock. Their food sucks. So I don't know. I'm not, maybe it's a bad fit, you know. I need someone a little more similar to me.
Ole Miss grow % $20. Ole Miss just defeated LSU and are now the number 4 team in the nation. Girls are hotter down here, and they're more willing to be housewives. Their dads will also agree with 97% of your takes. If you come to Ole Miss on Halloween weekend, we will teach you how to shotgun a Four Loko with your teeth. We are your people, Nick.
You're really not, dude. That's such a mystery. If you watch my show and think that's my people, I don't know what show you're watching. Like, you must have just switched channels by accident. Is this a super chat for Theo Vaughn or something? Like, different show. Ole Miss, this gotta be bait too. we defeated LSU. The girls are hotter and willing to be housewives, and their dads are based. Ah, awesome. Great. Oh, and shotgunning Four Loko? Yeah, it sounds right up my alley. I'm a real party animal. And trad girls? Awesome. Awesome. I just can't with the Southern thing. Listen, I like Southern people. I'll be friends with them. It's fine, but it isn't for me, okay? I'm a Yankee. I'm from Chicago. It's just, we're too different. I'm sorry. Same thing with the Scandinavians. It's just that's not my scene.
There's good Russian food in Chicago at Russian Tea Room. The Pelmani are excellent. Totally not confusing like all that trendy Asian food. Just glorious salty sausage dumplings, Latin cross emoji.
Why would I go and eat Russian food? We have good food here. I went to a Russian restaurant in LA. I think I've told this story, and it was, look, it's poor people food, but not even like, it's like peasant food. Dumplings with potatoes in them and like borscht and what else? Like fish on crackers. It's like, it's the 21st century. We don't have to live like this anymore. I'm not a feudal peasant. This isn't the 18th century in the permafrost region of Siberia. Like, we don't need to live like this. The Industrial Revolution happened. We have abundance. You know, it has wrecked our culture and our soul, but at least materially, it provides cheap and available meat and produce. So why would we eat at a Russian restaurant? There's Mexican restaurants, there's Italian restaurants, there's French restaurants, there's fucking hamburgers, for crying out loud. There's cheap and plentiful hamburgers as far as the eye can see, steakhouses. What is the need? We've evolved past the need for Russian food. We've evolved past the need to eat like purple soup and cabbage and pickled fish on crackers. We don't need to live like that anymore. We could get filet. You can have whatever you'd like. So thank you for that. Yeah, I've heard of the Russian Tea Room. A friend of mine recommended it to me. Maybe I'll go there just for fun. But yeah, why are we doing that? I don't understand. I've had it before. It's kind of, I have mixed feelings about it. How good could it be? Guys, it's pickled fish. It's pickled fish on toast. You ever wake up and say, man, I'm starving. I could really go for some pickled fish on these little crackers and purple soup with no meat in it. That would really hit the spot. You know what hit the spot? Mayonnaise and cabbage in a salad. Like, what? No, thank you, man. Especially in Chicago, we can eat here. Italian beef, gyro, tacos, steakhouses. You know, we know how to eat here.
21F nurse from ATL. Both mom and stepdad have taken the red pill. Little brother might be too young to watch, but eventually I'll put him on. PBD show was awesome. Hoping for more of those kinds of talks and collabs in the future. God bless you and the family. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I love when they put their age in there. Hi, I'm a 21-year-old girl, and then the message is generic. My mom and stepdad, we got to get a red flag. Can the producer buy a red flag, a red pendant? Or pen? What is it? What's the tiny flag? A pennant? Pendant? I don't know. But we need like a tiny red flag. Holy. I red pilled. No offense. No offense. I'm 21 years old and red pilled. My stepdad loves your show. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I'm not trying to be hurtful. You sound like a nice person, but holy. Holy, listen, I'm from an intact family. I'm an intactivist. I want a wife that, yeah, I'm being presumptuous. You probably have a boyfriend. He's probably 6'7", but yeah, I don't know about all that. 21F. 21F, huh? I'm totally red-pilled and based. No, but I appreciate it. God bless you. Keep red-pilling everybody. Look, you can't control your family dynamics. I'm just teasing you and giving you a hard time. But I'm glad you like the show. W, stepdad. He stepped up, man. He stepped up. God bless. W, mom. W, step. W, little bro. Put him on. Put that little nigga on, bro. No, but I appreciate it. Thank you very
Groyper
much.
Catholic Mom of 5 sent $20. I'm a Groyper mom of 5 kids and just recently started listening to your podcast every day while I cook dinner for my family. I am learning so much and can't thank you enough. I pray for your safety daily as if you were my son and invoke St. Michael to be with you today. His feast day, and always. You are brave, Nick. Christ is king.
Wow, thank you very much for the kind message. Love to hear it. We love Groyper moms. We love Groyper dads. We love Groyper moms. We love big Groyper families. That's so wholesome. I love cooking dinner, got the show on, getting ready for dinner with the Groiplings. Uncle Groyper, Grandpa Groyper, Groipling number 1, Groipling number 5. I love, that sounds so wholesome. That sounds nice. I'm glad you like the show. I gotta watch the language though for the Groipling families. It's so hard though. I have such a foul mouth because I just get animated. I feel strongly. I throw it out there for emphasis, but I gotta clean it up for the families out there.
Did you see the article about the woman in Naperville who put a MAGA bandana on her dog and the immigrant DoorDash driver shot it?
No, I didn't see that. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, they got to send these people back. That super chat doesn't even sound real. Is that a real story? An immigrant DoorDash driver shot my dog for wearing a Trump hat. That sounds like Grand Theft Auto Radio. One of these immigrant DoorDash drivers shot my dog for wearing a MAGA hat. Where's the outrage? If the shoe were on the other foot, is that a real that just sounds like Mad Libs. That just doesn't even sound real. my blank got shot by an immigrant blank. Like, it just sounds like political Mad Libs. How is that even a real story? An immigrant shot the dog for wearing a MAGA hat and he was driving for DoorDash. All my DoorDash drivers are immigrants, but they never kill pets or anything. Let's see. Naperville. Is this it? What the fuck? Really? Paywalled? I'm not clicking your link. I don't know what your link even is. I can't find it though. Whatever. It doesn't sound real.
Nick, you are the only person with any influence standing up for incels. Everyone else continues to kick them when they've never left the ground. Life as a subhuman man is unbearable. Sincerely, thank you. God bless you.
So true. So true. Everyone hates the incels, but I'm one of you. I'm one of you. So I get it. I know what it's like to be an incel. I know what it's like to be overlooked in that way, to be hated, to be a subhuman, genetically inferior male, like Eggy once said, like the Eggman said. So I get it. I'm with you. I'm with the incels. I'm with the black-pilled. I'm with the genetically inferior males. I'm with
Groyper
you guys.
Bono 07 sent $20. Best interview so far, even if Glenn is a fag. Check your jacket and shirt coughs. Don't look sloppy, nigga.
I don't think it's sloppy, but thank you for the big super chat anyway.
Gamer Grow Hyper,
Fucking retard. I love super chats like that. Even if he's a fag, hey, fix your shit. Okay, yeah, you sound awesome.
Gamer Grow Hyper sent $50. Nick, I agree with your comments on Glenn's show. We can't turn our backs on white women just because they have fallen to post-mod femme beliefs. We need white women to continue growing our race in America. We must extend the hand of forgiveness. If you forgive others in their transgressions, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Okay,
Matthew 6:14.
no, you're taking it way too far. Comments like this make me want to like just say the opposite of what I said on the show earlier. Yeah, talk about not getting it. Holy not getting
R sent
it.
$20. Hey Nick, I think you're missing a lot on the Freemasons. The Bible says we fight not against flesh and blood but against principalities. High-level Masons are judges. Diet Coke Grower % $50. Neat. Venezuelan opposition movement meeting with Rubio, Radcliffe, and Miller to discuss deposing Maduro. Chad Champion always wins.
Okay.
Based Cracker sent $20. Pray for my boy Quentin who has a problem cracking femboys. He also took BB's offer. Disappointed
Okay,
fate.
great.
Roberto Fixum sent $20. Do you have a stylist? The pie has been cooked these past couple nights and it makes it hard to focus on the big JQ. Scooter Liberal Chad sent $20. Liberals are gay, but at least their policy helps white Americans like student loan forgiveness, housing, and pushing back on Israeli influence. Meanwhile, Trump fills his admin with obese neckbeards and Jews. So even if the end goals are different, how willing would you be to work with political enemies to reach your goals? Dutyhead sent $25.
So that dude, they hate us. Liberals hate us. What are you talking about? They're bringing in the immigrants. What are you even talking about? What are you talking about? Hillary Clinton goes on TV and says, The world used to be run by white men of a certain persuasion, Christian. They fucking hate us. What are you even talking about?
Duty had sent $25. Do you like spicy food? Curry? Curry rice emoji. Love the show. Your cadence and humor makes hearing the news more entertaining.
Okay.
God bless.
Right.
The Dark Goy sent $25. Nick. For the average American and their family, how can they get involved to capitalize your movement? It seems a revolution is on the horizon. With Kirk's assassination and independent social media outlets.
They can't. They can do nothing. They are useless.
Operation Wetback.
They are completely fucking useless.
Operation Wetback 2.0 sent.
You want an honest answer? Your average person is basically fucking useless. No one wants to hear that, but it's basically true. And it's fine, but let's not kid ourselves. Okay, do you know who's going to change the country? Young, single men. Young, extremely capable, extremely intelligent single men. That's who's going to help. The vast majority of people that are basically average, that are looking to start a family, looking to be low key and have a house, like what do you see yourself doing actually? Most people have jobs, they have obligations, they don't want to get fired for having the wrong opinion. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody's always asking, what could I do to get involved? Very little at this point in time. You know, you tell me what you can do. If all you can offer is like, hey man, how can I get involved? It's like, dude, a bot farm is more useful because at least a bot farm is like consistent. You know what I mean? No offense. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's like we live in a country of managers and specialists and spies. And if you are not one of those three, you're just like, what? You tell me, what can you do? You know, everybody's always asking, what can I do? It's sort of like, dude, you kind of have to figure out ways you can help. You got to, what skills do you have? Most people have no skills. Most people have no real skills. Most people are not very reliable. Most people cannot do anything consistently. You know, having tried to motivate even a small number of people that have volunteered and are young and energetic and don't have a ton to lose, like it, you know, it's very tough. So there's not much. That's my answer. Should we partake in things like stop paying taxes? That's what I'm talking
Operation
about.
Wetback 2.0 sent $50. Weed isn't a sin, so why do you hate stoners?
Oh, it's definitely a sin. And all stoners are going to hell.
Steve the Kid sent $20. Just
And I hope they do.
Steve the Kid sent $20.
I don't hope they do. Nah, that's not an ironic statement, but stoners are scumbags.
Steve the Kid sent $20. If Netanyahu was the one that dropped the letter that supposedly exonerates Israel, why would your default position be to believe the authenticity of the letter? I'm not legitimizing Candace's claim either, but if NY Post drops the letter and Netanyahu backs it up, that would make anybody's eyebrows raise at the very least.
Yeah, it's all fake. All the evidence is fake. Everything's fake. We already went through that. Because why? If it was a fabrication, that would easily be proved. If Candace has the letter, she would produce it. If the letter was what she says what it is, she would produce it. And somebody else has it, so if they put out this phony letter, anyone could publish the real letter. I'm getting really sick of this, like, every piece of evidence that justifies the conspiracy is believable, and every piece of evidence that doesn't is not believable, automatically. The Bill Ackman text messages, the Tyler Robinson text messages, the gun, like, there are sources that say Tyler Robinson's DNA is on the roof because he cut his hand because it's serrated when he dropped down from the roof. People are going to say that is fake. But the trap door is real. But energy weapons are real. Like, in other words, people are more willing to believe that there are technologies we are not aware of, that humanity is not aware of, that were used in this assassination, than believe that Tyler Robinson's blood was actually found at the scene of the crime, or his fingerprints are on the gun, or that somehow his grandfather's gun wound up 100 feet from where Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. If your instinct automatically is to say, oh, that actually rationalizes the official narrative, it must be fake, it necessarily raises eyebrows. Why does that necessarily raise eyebrows? What would automatically be suspect about this? Everyone confirms that Charlie Kirk wrote a letter to Netanyahu. It's a real letter. Netanyahu held it up. Why would Netanyahu hold up a letter that he knows is like motherfucking him? Does that even make sense? If Netanyahu goes on TV and says, my proof that Charlie loved Israel is this letter, and he knows and everyone knows the letter was like breaking with Israel, why would he even reveal the existence of such a letter? And moreover, Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. Why is this eyebrow raising? He was pro-Israel. And this whole thing about messaging, he said that when he was alive in public. So, you know, if you're not willing to just go where the evidence leads, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I saw somebody say the other day, there's a Dairy Queen that got closed permanently in Utah. It wasn't even the one that Tyler Robinson went to. And some douchebag goes there and says, look, they're tearing down the Dairy Queen that Tyler Robinson was photographed in. It was the wrong Dairy Queen. And people posted, they said, that's not the right one. That's one from a different campus. It doesn't fit at all. It's just a wrong one. And he said, well, why would they tear down the wrong one? That was his reply. That's your brain on being a conspiratard. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, he was at the wrong restaurant, but in his mind, a Dairy Queen being permanently closed, he already made the assumption, oh, that's the one. They shut it down because they're covering it up. That's part of it. Even the evidence that it was the wrong one was not enough, because the first assumption is they tore this restaurant down because it's involved somehow. Just like with the private jet. It's like every activity that happened in the city has something to do with the crime. The private jet, a Dairy Queen that he didn't go to, a trap door next to where he was. Other than the actual evidence, like the Tyler Robinson's grandfather's gun. So how did the FBI get that exactly? If the FBI found this guy's grandfather's gun, and that's what it is, how did it get there? Did the FBI steal it and then put it there to frame this kid? Why? Why would they do that? Does that make more sense? And how did they get his DNA? The FBI came into his house and stole his fingerprints and put his fingerprints on his gun at the same time? And why? And he's a super intelligent kid. Okay, so if there's nothing wrong with him, then why would they make him the patsy? If he's not even known as liberal or known as gay for that matter, if he's not mentally ill or stupid, why would they pick a bright guy to be a patsy? Wouldn't a very intelligent guy be able to, like, defend himself? The conspiracy shit is really pissing me off because it just doesn't make any sense. And people are just, they're confident in their ignorance, confident, smug, brazen, and how their shit makes no sense.
Joe D 96 and $50. Nick, I bet that Candace is watching this stream crying and begging you to please stop so that way she does have to spill more bullshit about the letter. Then she will run and cry to Tucker. Also, I think she needs to get that EBT card ready for her kids once she loses that lawsuit.
Okay.
Love everything that you do. AF.
Thank you.
Christ is king.
I love when people repeat the jokes that I tell back to me. That's always good and fun. And I
BBC
like
Grower
that.
percent $20. When the Cubs broke the 108-year drought versus Cleveland in Game 7 to win the World Series in 2016. Did you tune in or remember the day? How was Chicago that night/week? A+ show by the way, Nicker.
I was in college. I was my freshman year of college, so I was away at home. And I felt bad about it because it was a huge day, obviously, for the city, and I wasn't even there for it. But I didn't watch the game. I just remember when it happened. It was so weird because it just felt like a magical year. It was like Trump won the election, Brexit happened, the Cubs won the World Series. Isn't that weird? I was there then when the Patriots won the Super Bowl a few months later. And that was cool because everybody just came out of their houses. I was in Boston for college, so I was there when the Patriots won, and literally everybody just took to the streets. I walked down to the Boston Common, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, I wasn't in Chicago for the big
Heimer the Bill
game.
sent $20. Hasbara Mothership.
Dude, literally. The letter literally calls for a Hasbara mothership with Israeli Truth Network. You can't make... Is it even possible to make that up? Hasbara mothership? Dude, he's writing about a Hasbara mothership. People think this is a fabrication. Who would fabricate that? I know you're fighting a war on 7 fronts, and my kvetching pales in compare. Who would make that up? Like, you can't make that up. I seriously doubt they made that up.
AK Seeker sent $20. You got a mention by Ambassador Alistair Crook on Judge Napolitano's show today.
Really? Was it positive? Dude, The Judge. Somebody get me on The Judge. It's my favorite show. I watch The Judge every day, but I feel like he doesn't know I exist. The Judge is like this aloof girl, and I'm like the nerd. I watch his show every day. I'm his biggest fan. He doesn't even know I exist. Judge Napolitano, he's got the best show on the internet. He doesn't even know I exist. He probably thinks I'm a loser. He thinks I'm some band nerd. I'm the band man. He thinks I'm some band kid. I hope was it a positive endorsement? I hope so. If it's not, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt me. There's not a lot that can hurt me anymore because I've had such a difficult life. But if the judge has a negative view of me, I'll be honest, that's gonna hurt me deeply. It's gonna cut deep. I'll have to check that out. I'm a big, somebody get me on the Judge. W show.
Scooter Liberal Chad sent $20. Curtis Yarvin said you had Riz on a British RWE Girl podcast.
I think I saw that clip. He called me an orc, though. He said, Fuentes has a, Spanish last name, he's Mexican, It's like, hey, buddy, you're Jewish, okay? Need I remind you, you are Jewish, okay? Hey, listen, pal. Don't get too high on your own supply. You are Jewish. No, but that was funny. It was in good fun, I think. In good taste.
Thomas Cruz sent $100. DFW, I'll never pull Stacy's like Chad Fuentes. Why even live?
Thank you for the big super chat. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm not pulling anyone, anything. I am a bitchless, rizless, hoeless, 5'9", chud, incel. It was over before it began. The truth is the game was rigged from the start. I'm black-pilled. It's over for me. That's okay. It's fine. Really, it's fine. I appreciate the big super chat, but I don't, let's not invalidate my suffering and my struggle and my sacrifice. Pulling Stacy's. Where do you see any Stacy's? Is she in the room with us? Is Stacy in the room with us right now? I don't see her. There are no Stacy's. There's trolls, people trolling me, women saying they like me, but they'd hate me if they knew what I was really like, They pull up in real life. They expect a cool Chad who's going to be awesome, and instead they find a video game playing Rizless incel. They say, aren't you a little short for this generational run? I'm going to say, well, it was a nice try. So I'm with you. I'm with you. We're not pulling any Stacy's over here. There's no Chad here. Chad is gone. I am what remains. Okay.
Frank Anderson sent $25. Here's $300 not for your Call of War addiction. Get some gold.
I don't buy gold. I don't use gold, dude. I'm a purist. I don't pay to win. I win with skill. I win with patience. Okay. They have the gold. I have the time. Okay. My enemies on Call of War, they have the gold. I have the time. I will know life. I will be awake when they are asleep. I will be awake at 3 a.m. when they are asleep, and I will take all their territory before they wake up. Homie, don't play that. I don't pay to win. Nothing better than that, right? But anyway, I appreciate it. Fair take on Scandinavians. Yeah, I know. My nose is itching.
Hitlifts for Christ sent $20. Have you heard how Stealth Medical etc. talks have you lol? Any opinions on her claims that you are Jewish?
I don't know who that is. Who's Stealth Medical? Sounds retarded, honestly. If someone is named Stealth Medical, like it's some kind of medical advice thing, doctors are murderers. Apple cider vinegar cures everything. If you have like health in your name like that, you're probably just a fucking idiot. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, here we go. Focused on biodefense, infectious and rare diseases, medical AI. I don't know. Maybe she's an expert. I don't know who she is, but looks retarded to me.
Halcyon sent $20. Asta leftist slanders you for denying Israel killing their top boy cheerleader when he literally denies the fact that Israel controls America, actually calling it a Zionist talking point. Forget that JQ Wass says America is the real decision maker, not Israel, just America's puppet. Hess controlled opposition for covering for Israel.
He's not controlled opposition. He's just a brown idiot. He's just a fucking third world idiot, of which there are many. So no, you're giving him too much credit. The idea that anyone would pay that stupid asshole, who would pay like a 3-foot mongoloid to be an idiot on the internet and get no views? He's not a shill. He's just that stupid. He's a third worldist. He's just more third world, brownoid IQ, talking about communism and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, that's not shill. That's like authentic.
Shitball sent $35. Genuinely irritates me that this Brill and Hollyhan guy rides in a private jet with a $12,000 Rolex and a $200 polo shirt. It's also artificial and staged. Smells like a nuclear war coming.
That just sounds resentful. You don't got to be mad at him for having motion like that. You got to be mad at him for being like a fake dweeb. Don't hate on the motion. You roll in here with your $12,000 Rolex like he mogs you. That's your problem. That's the least of your concern. You're just posting your own L's, dude. That's a cell phone. He mogs. I hate that he mogs me. Why give him aura? Why let him aura farm? People are going to post edits. They're going to post edits of this. They're going to put him in one where he's flying in on a private jet, flexing the Rolex, laughing as Charlie Kirk dies. I'm the new Charlie Kirk, That's an edit. He's aura farming off you. Don't let him careful, you're aura farming him right now. I hate that he mogs me. He flies in with his $5 million shirts, his private jet, $12,000 Rolex to grift off Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, dude, what color's your Bugatti? Don't let him get away with that. Don't let him aura farm.
Bald
Making a big
$25.
mistake.
Candace Plaza, hear me out. Convinced my Israeli manager is Mossad for a whole variety of reasons, but my other co-workers think so too. He's tried asking me out on multiple dates, asked for compromising shit, extremely personal details, and to travel to Israel. WTF do I do without being a schizoid?
You're probably retarded and that's not real. Where do you work? Do you work in an important industry or Or are you just some woman who thinks every man is obsessed with you? This is the problem with women. Women hear too much Candace Owens and then they say, this guy's trying to hit on me. I think he's Mossad. I have a boyfriend like, dude, just be so for real. What do you work at, Target? Your boss at Target or whatever is not a Mossad operative. Like, no one cares that much. He's probably just a creep and is like trying to have sex with you, okay? It's not that deep.
Connor MC Grow I percent $21. I never really get the urge to rewatch the Batman 22 like I do with the Dark Knight trilogy. Everything after the Riddler turns himself in is just kind of boring to me. Watching the first hour of Batman Begins always makes me want to grow the Liam Neeson Ra's al Ghul goatee.
Yeah, you sound like a faggot. You sound like a nerd. When I watch Batman, I want to grow a goatee like the character. Like, dude, or how old are you? What are you, 3 years old?
Foy sent $25. Bought Judge Knapp's books back in the Ron Paul era. I can imagine a polite debate on his show where he playfully grills you in upset Italian mode on Lincoln and Hamilton. Do you think you could take on the judge in these topics?
Yeah, I don't think that's how it would go at all, actually, if you watch his show. And that's weird. You're playing with dolls right now. You're playing with dolls. I bet Judge Napolitano would say, what do you think about Abraham Lincoln? And then you would say, what are you fucking talking about?
As a Groyper mom of two, I also love watching the show while in the kitchen. Somewhat new to this side of things and was just getting into Matt Walsh / Candace Owens when my husband mentioned you. I no longer waste my time with them. The future is Fuentes. If that's lame, would love a roast. Congrats on the generational run.
No, that's not lame. I like the 30 Rock reference, one of my favorite shows. Thank you very much. Love to hear it. I love the Groyper moms. People think I hate women. I don't. People think I hate moms. I don't. I love moms. I love women. I just don't like bitches. And I think women get that. You know what I mean? I think my mom said that about Candace Owens. She's like, yeah, like she's a bitch, you know? And then like women know what that means. Women know what it means. You got women and then you got like a total bitch. And women don't want to be a bitch, you know? They want to be pleasant. They want to be attractive. They want to be lovely. They want to be loved by men. They want to be loved by a man. And I think every woman recognizes you don't want to be known as like a total bitch, like loudmouth, obnoxious, assertive, that sort of thing. And maybe that is not true of like a feminist generation, but I think if you're from a certain culture, you know what that means. If you're from a more traditional culture, like in the South, let's say, or in more of these like a traditional ethnic background, like Catholics or Orthodox, you know what that means. No, I don't even think women want to be that. And women know the difference. Anyway, not that that has much to do with you, but I do appreciate it. Love to hear it.
J Slayer 1488 sent $20. Hey Nick, how many more attacks on whites and Christians do you think it will take before God may feel like another crusade could be justifiable? I myself am already taking a stand and know many others who are as well. I urge all able-bodied white patriots to rise up. Enough is enough.
Oh,
Gaius Wolf
gosh.
brother. 070 /.
Just stop. What are you talking about? When you say a crusade, what the fuck are you talking about? You and all your buddies are gonna go to Israel with swords? Like, what are you talking about? Just stop. What are you talking?
Christians, do you think it will take before God may feel like another crusade could be justified? I myself am already taking a stand and know many others who are as well. I urge all able-bodied white patriots to rise up. Enough is enough.
Oh,
Gaius Wolf
gosh.
brother. 070 /.
Just stop. What are you talking about? When you say a crusade, what the fuck are you talking about? You and all your buddies are gonna go to Israel with swords? Like, what are you talking about? Deus Volt, brother. You do not speak Latin, and you are not a soldier. What are you talking about? When do you think God is gonna let us do another crusade? Do you think we live in a movie, man? What does that even mean?
Rizzler 537382827494946373837337484774474847484 sent $25. Hey Nick, fellow gay kid from Chicago here. Please for the culture, make wank merch.
We are gonna do that, actually. We
Holiday
might.
sent $20. I'd how to DLW being kind of radicalized by the internet, and then having to live and work every day in a large super liberal city. It makes me feel schizophrenic. San Francisco is so bad, definitely worse than in Chicago. Should PPL in their 20s just give up trying to live in cities for the most part?
No, just grow up. What is wrong with you? It's like anything else. You just manage it. Where are you gonna move to? Are you gonna move to the city where everybody's red pilled by TikTok and everybody's like talking about Jewish conspiracies in the break room every day? What are you even talking about? Where do you think you're gonna go?
Your alt sent
That's just the
$20.
world.
Why aren't the Austrian painter said it best when diplomacy ends? War begins. If and when war with Iran and Israel kicks off, do you think Russia will leave them high and dry again? I don't really see anyone wanting to come to Iran's defense. Peas your front page on Rumble. Congrats, you made it, nigga.
I love the Austrian painter. Austrian painter check. You could just say Hitler. Why do we need to say it like? Do you think anyone doesn't know that? Like that's a code? That's a secret code. No one's gonna know. Austrian painter. What's that? You could just say Hitler, dumbass. You could just say fucking Hitler. It's 2025. I promise you, everyone knows what that means. It's not a code. You're not getting away with anything. It's also not funny. Like, just say Hitler, actually. We could just say Hitler.
JRR Talkie sent $20. User 73254890965407234509809565689278345768429058245.
Okay, we're
Scooter
just...
Liberal Chat
no.
sent $20. Apparently there's a letter that said Saddam Hussein is trying to purchase Yellowcake uranium. Surely Israel wouldn't forge a letter to pursue their national interests. I guess I'll take the ICC wanted war criminals' word that Charlie committed sedition
Love
against our
that.
country. Even if it was true, there's reasonable doubt.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's all fake. Yeah. And Charlie Kirk going to Israel, that was a hologram. Charlie Kirk making the Bill Ackman event, yeah, that was fake too. They fabricated all that. It's all fake, right? And what is real is all the evidence that Candace is hiding, that she's withholding for us, that she definitely has. And all the stuff that's been produced that Turning Point verified is real, that we should assume is fake, even though it tracks with everything he's ever said.
Do you not realize that Peter Thiel invested into Rumble in May 2021 and Rumble merged with CF Acquisition Corporation in 2022, whose CEO is Howard Lutnick, Jew, and was headquartered in the Towers and was scheduled to come into work on September 11th but decided to take his son to school instead. They own everything. This is controlled.
I love when you tell me things I already know that I've talked about on the show before, and then I bet you don't even realize, dude, I've been red-pilled way before you. You know nothing. I've forgotten more than you know.
Volcar sent $20. On average, Germans have a higher IQ than Italians, and Southerners have no dignity. Uncultured, uneducated, unsophisticated, unintelligent hill people that eat barbecue and sit in a rocking chair.
Yeah, but we have the Roman Empire. What do you have? You got nothing. You got nothing. You should be grateful. You got nothing. You had to invade our empire. You got Charlemagne. We had Rome, bro. This is all Rome. Everything you see, all us. That's all us. You can say whatever you want. Even your guy Hitler was copying us. You got nothing. Nothing. You guys are good worker bees. You guys are good worker drones. You show up on time. You do what you're supposed to do. Efficient. We're idea people, okay? We're ideas people. We systematize, we invent, we create. Da Vinci, ever heard of him? Raphael, Michelangelo, Caesar, that's us. That's who we are, and you're nothing, okay? Even Hitler was copying us. Even Hitler wanted to be us, and he said, damn it, but they're not Aryans, they're Meds. Because that's what we are. That's our DNA. I understand you're mad about it. Don't cope. Don't seethe.
Heard from whatever slop merchant. What prevents you from becoming a banana lolcow chasing the blessings of elite human capital?
Eat your fucking schnitzel and enjoy the greatness, okay? You're welcome.
Roybert.faith sent $21. You're doing great work. But how do you deal with the sheer stupidity and filth and dishonesty, fakeness, absolute slime on the right? Swaths of folks on our side are so damn stupid and won't listen to any contrary evidence to whatever slop they heard from whatever slop merchant. What prevents you from becoming a banana lolcow chasing the blessings of elite human capital?
What does that question even mean? How do I deal with that? What does that even mean? Like, seriously, when you say so, how do you deal with that? Like, what does that question even mean? I just don't get it. I don't understand how someone asked something so stupid. I really don't get it. I really don't get how you thought that was a good question and sat there and wrote out fucking 10,000 words. How do you deal with people being dumb in your life? What are you asking if I take deep breaths? You ask what my coping strategies are? Like, what are you talking about? I don't get how someone, they're like, that's a good question. I think I'm going to write 500 words asking that because I want to know the answer. Like, what's wrong with you? I like it's creative how dumb these are sometimes.
Michael sent $21.
It's shocking.
You have been picking your nose for 6 years. Please get health insurance. November is open enrollment.
It's my nose is itching. I don't know why it itches sometimes. I think someone told me it's because when I talk, my nose hairs vibrate. Someone told me that. That kind of makes sense. It could be, I have really bad allergies right now. It could be that. I don't know what it is.
Hi, Nick. Would you ever consider bringing back some gaming streams? Also, what? Jamie Arden sent $22.
Would I ever consider? What is
Jamie
it?
Arden sent $22.
Again, like, what are you asking?
And would love to have a solid convo about this Matrix wherein and get more of your views on certain.
Fuck off and
Larry
die.
Silverstein
Like, just fuck off and kill yourself.
Larry Silverstein is up. Sent $35.
I don't know what it is.
Hi, Nick. Would you ever consider bringing back some gaming streams? Also, what? Jamie Arden sent $22.
Would I ever consider? What is
Jamie
it?
Arden sent $22.
Again, like, what are you asking?
And would love to have a solid convo about this Matrix wherein and get more of your views on certain.
Fuck off and
Larry
die.
Silverstein
Like,
is up.
just fuck off and kill yourself.
Larry Silverstein is up. Sent $35. Love from Australia less than 3. Wanted to know what your favorite TV show of all time is? What? Jamie Arden sent $22.
Would I ever consider? What is
Jamie
it?
Arden sent $22.
Again, like, what are you asking?
And would love to have a solid convo about this Matrix wherein and get more of your views on certain.
Fuck off and
Larry
die.
Silverstein
Like,
is up.
just fuck off and kill yourself.
Larry Silverstein is up. Sent $35. Love from Australia less than 3. Wanted to know what your favorite TV show of all time is?
Favorite. Now that's a good question. Favorite TV show of all time? Probably The Sopranos. Sopranos is good. I love Game of Thrones. I love Breaking Bad. They're all basic. But those are the best shows of all time, probably. Love 30 Rock. Great show. Those are probably the top ones for me. Those are the ones those are probably top 4. I'm partial to Sopranos just because they're Italian, but I don't know. I think that's probably the best show of all time.
In a hypothetical scenario where the two candidates are a liberal black man, Cory Booker, and a conservative white woman, Kristi Noem, who should we vote for?
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's great stuff, guys. Really great stuff. Always penetrating insight here from the super chats. If a black guy ran and a white woman ran, who should we vote for? How do you deal with dumb people? You're seeing it, right? Not very well, actually. I'm not handling it really well. As you could, I'm still working on that, actually. Still developing strategies all the time. Always trying to get better at that. It's great. It's great stuff. Always great. You know, the audience loves to be a part of the show. They love to try, make the jokes, provide the information. It's great. Let's try not to crash out tonight, okay? I'm going to do my best not to crash out, but I'm not going to make any promises. All right. Let's mentally prepare and let's get excited for the next super chat. I can't wait.
Roman Roy, percent $20. Kane, Catholic, American Nationalist Empire, Canada, Greenland, Panama, and Baja, NX, Tall Jews, and Nigs deported forever. Strong alliance with Russia against China. The dollar backed by land, labor, Bitcoin, and gold bullet trains and Autobahn-style freeways. New infrastructure, clean cities, no crime. We will win, boss.
Okay. Yeah, well, we tried it. Well, we tried.
Quizzer sent $25. Why not post yesterday's stream on X? It's too damn good and needs shared to the masses.
I can't. I'm not eligible for a check mark. You know what happens? If I go on Twitter and you open up the tab for premium and you choose your subscription, when I press that, it says, sorry, you are not eligible for premium at this time. I'm not allowed to buy premium. And if I'm not allowed to buy premium, I can't post videos longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I can't exceed the 280 character limit. I can't edit my posts. I can't get a check mark. I can't monetize. I can't do 2-factor authentication with the phone number. So I have like a 100 character password because I can't get 2FA. That's a premium feature. Okay? People say you're not censored anymore. I am still heavily censored. I am banned on YouTube. I am banned on Instagram. I am banned on Facebook. I am banned on TikTok. My name and face and voice are banned on TikTok. My set is banned on YouTube. If you post clips from my show on YouTube, they'll be banned. Other people can have me on, but I can't be on myself. And the 2 places that I am allowed, on Twitter, I can't have all the features everyone else can. And on Rumble, they won't put me on the front page. If I make an appearance on another show, they won't put me on the front page. I can't monetize. I don't get paid by Rumble. I can't get paid by Rumble. I am available on 2 platforms, and even on those platforms, I don't have the same privileges as everybody else. So I'm still a nigga. Still a nigga. I'll stop saying it when I'm no longer a nigga.
Roypud sent $30. From TX and in Sicily RN. Met a girl from UK. 3 hours of talk. Swear, didn't seem retarded at first. OFC I call something gay, and she got Candace freak eyes. Ended up rage baiting her and told her to listen to Hitler's speeches translated to English. Women are retards, especially Europeans. Can't critically think on anything. AF bro.
Dude, nobody cares, actually. Nobody cares that you're an annoying chud, that you're like a Buzz Lightyear toy aisle filled with them fucking chud. So I told my girl about AI Hitler speeches and she totally crashed out. What a bitch. Oh, wow. Emily, stop. You're so crazy. Wow, I've never met someone like you before. You've never met someone like me before. I was politically edgy around my girlfriend and she hated it. And I was like, what the heck? Yeah, dude, women are liberal. Bitches are liberal. We all know that. Thanks for sharing.
Sent $20. If I dress up as a Hasidic Jew for Halloween, will the IDF call in a preemptive airstrike on me? Or will Palantir simply dock my social credit score?
You're making me want to join them when you say stuff like that. That's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
If I sent some drawings to your P.O. box at some point in the future, would you actually see them? Thanks.
Don't. Please don't. Send
Mark
me
Salmai sent
drawings.
$25. Albanians have assimilated well in this country, and we contributed greatly to Western civilization. Constantine the GR8, the Roman emperor who legalized Christianity in the Roman Empire, was Illyrian. Albanians in antiquity. We're definitely not Slav monkeys. Love you, Lil half-breed beaner greaseball candida handheld dick.
Okay. Yeah, that's just cope. I mean, the sad thing is you have Italians and Germans are debating each other. Who's greater, Hitler or Caesar? And then the British come in. We own a quarter of the world. And then the French come in. We have the Sun King. And then you have these like Slavic people. Actually, we invented everything. And it's proper to call them Slav monkeys because they have the same like we was thing that blacks do. Albanians were the first humans. Albanians built the pyramids. It's like, bro, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay? You're in a tracksuit. You're wearing a gold chain. You are mystery meat. No, you invented nothing.
Barron Trump shut an entire floor down at Trump Tower for a date. Bruce Wayne Typora. And WTF is up with your thumb bro shit's doing a backflip.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was, I told you, somebody said, you know, Barron has more aura than you. I'm like, his dad's the president and his mom is a model. Like, yeah, that's true. Like, he wins that one. And then the next day, shuts down a whole floor of Trump Tower. It's all solid gold. Like, bro has infinite aura. It's not fair. Bro skipped having a billionaire president dad day at the gym. Just go up and talk to her. Just work on yourself. Just go to the gym. Get 8 hours of sleep. Have you tried intermittent fasting and walking? And what's the new drug, Retatrutide or something? It's like, yeah, I guess I skipped having a billionaire president dad day at the gym. I guess I missed 6-8 day at the gym.
So the Greenwald interview was based. Always proud to be a NJF soldier. You conduct yourself so well. Okay, it's late. Think of pierogi, cabbage rolls, mac and cheese, sausage sandwich. Are you hungry? It's time to feed the AF crew. Hope to still make that work. Stay safe, my king. Keep bringing the receipts. Hashtag stop
We're
Jews.
gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Don't tell me about that because then I'm just gonna get hungrier. I had a little something for dinner, but I'm not furious. I'm not. Whenever I crash out, you could just bet I'm hungry or tired or both. I ate before the show. I had my coffee. I'm as good as I could be. I slept. I had a cup of coffee. I had dinner. So I'm balanced. I'm even keeled. I'm level headed. I am dialed in. I am locked in. I'm in the zone. I'm in the flow state. I'm all the way there. So when I'm telling you, kill yourself, fuck you, I hate you, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to blow I'm blowing my head off. I'll finish that sentence. Pause. Whenever I'm saying that, you could just count on me. So but don't push me, okay? When you start saying, think of mac and cheese, think of cabbage rolls, it's like you're just going to bring out the beast. Be careful what you wish for. Do not summon the beast. Say his name and he will appear. Let me forget about food, because if I think about food too much, I'm going to get pissed off. Now, but good to hear from you, Christine. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to trust. The Groypers are coming with our appetites. It's just, I gotta come there with the SWAT team. After the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we got to be very careful how we move, especially after your little assassination attempt against me, your little plot that you called in. You thought you were going to get me. I survived. Now you want to make amends because you know that hell is coming with me. I see right through you, Christine. So we're coming in heavy. If you think you're going to catch me off guard, it's not going to be no Israeli security, you know, the rooftops are not secured. Like, we're going to be patting you down. We're going to be waving you down with the wand. We're taking no chances. The pierogies are getting wanded down. We are not taking any chances, Christine. You thought we were going to come in, and I don't think so. I'm just teasing.
You're an LT untwisted by memes and irony. Nick Fuentes, you sir are fake as hell. The incel community does not claim you. Saint Elliot Roger pray for us all. Oh, and by the way, keeps Chud's name out yo fucking mouth.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm definitely more like a mid-tier normie, I think. Low-tier normie, you're a fucking low-tier. You're scum, dude. You're sludge. I'm a mid-tier normie. You're a fucking ugly piece of shit. Let's just get that clear first. Second of all, I'm a real incel. And you want to know why? Because I live an incel life. Okay? I live a completely incel life. You might see the TikToks. You might see women throwing themselves at me. You may see women saying, oh my gosh, she's so cute on Instagram. But if I met them in real life, they would say, this guy is an asshole. They would say, this guy's horrible. I would never. And that's how it's always been. Look at my experience with Candace Owens. I meet her and within 2 seconds, she hates me. I meet her and within 2 seconds, she's grilling me. She's attacking me. That's just how it goes. I'm an odious curmudgeon. I am a risless recluse, and women hate me. Women naturally hate me. They don't understand me. So that's real high-tier incel, maybe. Low-tier normie.
Please, call Larry Ellison to get you the best Jewish lawyer so I can teach you that the truth is an absolute defense against defamation, lil bro.
I think you're Jewish because this is perfect forever.
Maya J sent $20.
Congratulations.
You asked why women would want to watch. You say Jews lie and are deceitful, yet you can't admit that the AF logo is 1 centimeter off center on the mug? No hate for me, no anger, but you denying facts makes you in many ways no better than them. So please, call Larry Ellison to get you the best Jewish lawyer so I can teach you that the truth is an absolute defense against defamation, lil bro.
I think you're Jewish because this is perfectly centered. Get the pixels out. This is perfectly centered. So let's not defame the merch. I'm against the defamation of my merch. I'm against the defamation of my mugs and my hats. Next,
The
please.
Chukey sent $50. Nick, I appreciate your perspectives and criticisms of Trump/Israel, but what is the alternative to the Republican Party? If we don't stay red, this country is absolutely fucked. We dodge hell on earth by avoiding Kamala. Don't you think we need to unify on the right more than ever now? Deep state runs far deeper on left than on right.
That's all just rhetoric. These are not arguments. That's all. When you say something like, what is the alternative? Look, the alternative is you step outside the system. That's not a meaningful choice. When you say Republican and Democrat, they're effectively doing the same thing. And they're part of the same arrangement. And they're both answerable to the Jews. So the question is not, do you want one flavor or the other flavor? You're getting the same brand, which is Jewish control. So these are not alternate parties, but actually asked that for like newspapers, really our own independence. Evolution, we need to be about it like a...
Couldn't concentrate on the storyline the first time. I rewatched it recently and the ending gutted me. What other movie genres do you like?
Let's just not crash out. Well, I love musicals. I like the good musicals, okay? I like them. Oh, yeah, I'm never beating the allegations. I know he likes musicals, that he hates the South, he's gay. Yeah. Well, okay, what else is new? Look, I like Yankee Doodle Dandy. I like An American in Paris. I like La La Land. I like The Wizard of Oz. Look, if you like movies, you like musicals, okay? If you like movies, you like that genre because it's visuals, it's music, it's big set pieces. I don't need to defend myself. They're good. La La Land is a great movie. La La Land is a celebration of Los Angeles and American culture. So I love it. I love Ryan Gosling. I love Emma Stone. I love the songs. And I love La La Land, okay? If liking La La Land is a crime, then lock me away. But if not, then the show must go on. You know what? If you don't like La La Land, you're the gay one, okay? You're the gay one. It's a good movie. Arrest me. Take me away. Fine. I don't care. But I like La La Land. I love prison movies. Prison movies are some of my favorite. I like, what's that prison movie with Robert Redford and Tony Soprano? That's an awesome movie. I like the prison movie with Vince Vaughn. I like Shot Caller. That came out recently. So I love those. I love movies I like the genre of movies like Drive, Taxi Driver. These like noir movies where like one crazy guy kills people. I like the genre of movies where like one crazy guy is like drives a car and kills people at night. What else? I like action movies. Love a good action movie. What I really like are historical epics. Those are my favorites. Master and Commander, The Patriot. Even, what's that one about the Indians by Mel Gibson? Name escapes me right now. Even that I love the big historical epics. Gladiator. Those are the best movies of all time. Lawrence of Arabia. Those are the greatest. I wish there were more of them. There's not enough movies like that. I love war movies, especially naval combat. Greyhound was great. Master and Commander, it's similar genre. I don't like World War II movies. I think those are so overdone. I fucking hate them. I'm at the point now I hate any World War II movie because they're all the same. It's always like the Maverick. Hey, Johnny. Oh, Johnny from back home. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm like, there's an Italian in there and they're trying to integrate. And they're all like devastated by the war. It's all so fucking gay. Really hate Saving Private Ryan. Hate Matt Damon. Hate Tom Hanks. Hate Steven Spielberg for the most part. They're movies, I mean, not them as people. World War II movies, so overdone. It's always the same. Like Masters of the Air, fuck you. It's all the same, dude. It's so formulaic. It's like the Maverick that's like, does things a little differently. The Daredevil takes too many risks, dies. The quiet guy, the sensitive guy, the guy with fucking glasses, the fucking Italian. My girl back home, you know, I fucking hate it, dude. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I like movies, though, about the naval aspect. Midway had some of that. Not the old one, but the new Midway movie. Really awesome, but had a lot of that bullshit in it. But as long as I just love movies with like big ships, missiles, submarines, helicopters, the combined arms. Patton, that's a good World War II movie. Patton is probably my favorite World War II movie. And I like musicals. Arrest Me. Officer, Arrest Me. Sorry, Chud. Yeah, I watch Yankee Doodle Dandy every 4th of July. It's my uncle's tradition. And I like, La La Land is one of my favorite movies of all time. So what? And what about it? That's a good one. Great songs, great music. Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, what's not to like? John Legend, what's not to, I repeat myself, what's not to like? It's LA. LA's one of my favorite cities. What's not to like?
Certified LVR Goy sent $150. Good evening, Nick.
That's a filter.
First became aware of you after your Yay/Trump dinner and have been resonating with you more as of lately. Thanks for what you do. You might think this is gay, but I started an AF Clip account on X under at Certified LVR Goy. Just waiting on the verification bullshit to start posting. Looking forward to the future.
Thank you for the big super chat. No, that's not gay. The Clippers are our strongest soldiers. The Clippers do not get enough credit. The generational run would not happen without the Clippers. I got to do something nice for them. I got to give them a pizza party or something. Or I'm not going to pay them. I'm not going to pay them, but I'll do something nice. I'll do something nice for them, like a gift basket. But no, the Clippers are the best. So thank you very much.
Orchestral Grower percent $20. I'm a 19-year-old French horn player at I use conservatory.
Bro, please don't dox yourself. Please don't, dude. Why would you're giving so many details? Here's my age, here's my instrument, and this is where I am. Dude, please stop, Doc. I'm begging you. The rest of the super chat said he disagrees with my views. The rest of the super chat said he disagrees with my views and he hates me. Stop doxing yourself. Okay, but I appreciate the message, but for your sake, please.
IXC360 sent $20. Shout out to my BF for red pilling me and leading me to Christ. Previously a femcel/insufferable leftist. Praying for your safety always. Love the show. Fully expecting a woman roast though.
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like that. That's why you sent the super chat, because you wanted it. These women, you can't win with them. If you give them attention, you're a simp, and they love that. If you hate on them, then they bite their lip and go, oh, I hope you don't roast me. You can never win.
Chiswick sent $20. 27 NBM. Non-binary man. Was watching your stream last night, WMIBF, and noticed you corrected the spelling of Israel. Def got the call. BB's little baby.
What the hell is
German
even
Italian
that?
Supremacy sent $20. Think it's funny and I agree how you want NY to fall because you're from Chicago. I'm from the beautiful state of Missouri, not too far from you. They are snobs and ignorant to us. You're a little better cause you're a Midwesterner like us, haha. Seriously, that Arab third worldist will destroy, as of now, Earth's wealthiest city. Sad.
I don't want New York to fall. I mean, New York is one of our great cities. I'm not rooting for it to fall. They are snobs, though. New Yorkers think they're better than everybody. And all they can do is talk about New York. You meet somebody from New York, and that's all they fucking talk about. New York, I'm from New York. They're very self-important. And yeah, we're more real Americans because we're from the heartland, bro. New York is a very Jewish city, very Asian, very international. Chicago is like a true American city. Real working class people, real working class whites. It's not as international. It's not as Jewish. This is like America. We're a little more humble, a little more earnest.
What do you have to say about the failed invasion of Caledonia by the Roman Empire? Had to build 2 fucking walls to keep us rat bastards out. Are the Scots the real Ubermensch? Correct answer, I. Celebratory hands in the air emoji. Alba Gubrath. Scotland emoji. Scotland emoji.
Geez. Scottish people. Love that. Love them.
Groiper from West Sideless sent $20. Real quote from Candace's show yesterday. Apparently that was not accurate. Again, that was something I came up with by accident. You can't make this shit up. Episode 245 timestamp 420.
I'm not going to pull it up right now, but dude, it's always, her show is insane now. Her show goes something like this. Really with the Brigitte Macron thing, but especially in the past 3 weeks, she goes on her show and says, I have all this evidence, then she doesn't show it. The opposite of what she claims comes out, and then she says, oh, well, that doesn't matter. I have a new thing. This has happened multiple times. She came out initially and said, I have this letter, and if they don't stop lying, I'm going to release the letter. She never does. The letter comes out, she looks like an idiot, and then she says, well, I have this video of Charlie Kirk, but I'm not going to release it. Today, she comes out and says, I have a video of a woman that met with the shooter, but I'm not going to release it. She says, I know who had access to Charlie Kirk's computer, but I'm not going to say who it is. Okay, so why? Why then? Every day, she's withholding the evidence. And it's becoming really obvious. It's becoming glaringly obvious that she's just withholding the evidence because she either doesn't have it or she's misrepresenting it or lying about it. And at first, maybe she had people going, but it's been 3 weeks. Charlie Kirk got killed 3 weeks ago, and she has not produced any of this evidence. The letter, the text of Bill Ackman, the video before he died, you name it, this video of the woman that met with Robinson, the names of the people that had the laptop. There's just no evidence coming out. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And she claims to have it, but is also withholding it. She says, well, if someone calls me a liar, then I'll release it. Is that how that works? I'm going to make this tall claim that I have evidence for, but I'm not going to prove it unless someone specific says I'm a liar. Where is that the standard of truth? Where does the burden of evidence work like that? So it's just, I hope people are starting to notice because it's really getting obnoxious.
Coligo sent $50. Literally never heard it articulated so clearly and holistically. Forced blinders make us all blind. It's a political situation that we all need to be mindful of. Do you recommend any other sources for us to follow up on, for news in general? The show is very informative. Nick for life.
Thank you. Other sources, I mean, this isn't in the sources. These are my ideas. I love people watch the show and they're like, where do you get these ideas from? Like someone wrote them on paper and I read them and these are my ideas. These are things I have noticed. Where did I notice these things? I read the news. I read the New York Times. I read the Times of Israel, Axios. I read the news. So, but I appreciate it. But no one is really writing about this stuff. I mean, there's some Substacks like Chuck Johnson and J. Arthur Bloom write about some of this stuff. And Oon's Review, some people write about this. But the stuff that I'm saying, no one's writing exactly this. And few people are even noticing a lot of this stuff or putting it into writing. So, this is just me analyzing it. People are always like, where can we go for further reading? It's like, these are my ideas from the news. This is the further reading. So
Stealth Black sent $20. Serious question. What if you ran an Andrew Tate-esque play for getting on YouTube? This is going to sound insane, but what if you paid an actor to literally reenact your show, word for word, with the same energy and post that reenactment on YouTube? Goy Slaughter Fish.
is that a real idea, dude? What do you... Come on now, Stealth Black. Is that a real idea? Get a actor to... Why would we go to the trouble to do... What's even the point? No, I don't. I don't know that anyone would watch that, to be honest with you. That can't be a real idea. Is that
Goy
real?
Slaughter Aficionado sent $20. Destiny accidentally slipping on a candy wrapper and falling into the gorilla exhibit at the Miami Zoo and getting violently thrown around like a volleyball by 6 different gorillas. Groy percent $20. Do you make anything of Egypt's military buildup on the border with Israel? Just there to prevent Palestinians being forced into Sinai or something else?
I think that's most likely the case. But it is interesting. You never know. This wouldn't be the first time they did a covert military buildup in preparation for war. I doubt they're going to go to war with Israel, but look, they're preparing for all possibilities, Israel's going to seize Gaza, and then their whole military is going to be there, so...
1234 sent $20. Praying for a 21F free every day, bro. I know the pain as a recovering gamer myself. Too bad you're against mixing, or else the Foon Heads could fund you a mail order wife from some Catholic school in the Philippines.
Is this
Love
real?
the work. God bless. And I'm buying a hat.
I love when people say this, like, do you know me? Like, do you know anything about me? Do you have any inkling of, if this is real, on the off chance this is a real super chat and you're not messing with me, do you people really believe that when I finish the show, I go and sit down and I think, man, oh man, I just wish I had a girlfriend? Like, do you know anything about me? For fuck's sake. I hear people say this occasionally in the super chats. They're like, I'm praying for you to find a wife. It's like, I don't fucking want a wife, bro. Now, that's going to be on some level a necessity because I want children. I have an obligation, I feel, to have children. I think it would be weird if I wasn't married. I think the alternative is worse. You have two terrible options. You could be a 40-year-old single guy, and that just is weird, and everyone thinks you're gay, and you're a creep anyway. You're just like a freak loser, I guess. Not insulting my single 40-year-old men, but you know how it is. You become one of these like old guys with gray hair wearing like a leather jacket trying to be cool, and you're just like weird. Terrible option. The other option is you have to be married and pretend that you like it. You have to say things like, the happiest day of my life. You got everything changed. Two horrible options. But I think They're two horrible options. Wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy. I think I'm going to have to go with the latter. That one's less bad. It is less bad to be married and have kids and go through the rigmarole. I'm not going to like it. I'll do it. I'm not going to like it. You can make me get married. You can't make me like it. Okay? I'm not going to be doing the best man speech where he makes fun of me in a funny way. But seriously, you two are the happiest couple I've ever met. At least one half of them is. But seriously, like, we're not doing that though. We're not. If it's like that, it's going to be some serious. It's going to be like the Kill Bill wedding. If the best man is giving a speech like that, it's going to look like the wedding in Kill Bill. But I love when the super chats come in. They're like, I'm praying for you. And it makes me want to kill myself that people actually think, what kind of person do you think I am actually? People think I finished the show, loosen my tie, and I go, when do you think I'm going to find the one? When do you think I'm not going to have to spend my days alone? When do you think my house will be filled with the female laughter and the laughter of children? When do you think I'm going to get to lay down on the couch in my wife's lap and let her play with my hair while we watch Disney movies? Like, who the fuck do you think I'm a pussy? Seriously. Do you think I'm a pussy? Just say that. Just say that. If you think I'm a pussy, just say so. That's all. That's you guys. That's you people. That's what you people want. Because you people are weak. You people are weak. You people are pathetic. That's you. Don't put that on me. That's what you want. You fantasize about elaborate proposals and elaborate weddings. You cry like a faggot when you see your wife in her dress. She's so beautiful. Fuck you, pussy. No. Listen, I may be a wimp and I may be effeminate, but I'm not a pussy like that. I don't need that in my life. I don't really even want that in my life. You know what I want? I like the silence. I value the silence. I value the silence. I value the freedom of movement and maneuverability. You hear that? That's the sound of no bitches living in my house. That's the sound of no nagging, no carrying on, no emotional crash out. Hear that? It's beautiful. And I'm good. And I'm cherishing that while I'm still alive, while I'm still a man. A wedding is a funeral for a man. That's why you wear all black, because you're dying. You know, Charlie Kirk said that like it's a good thing. Charlie Kirk said, and it's true. He said, when you're at a wedding, the man wears all black because you die to yourself and become one flesh. I'm like, yeah, it's a sad occasion. That's sad. You should be sad. I don't want to die. I want to be me. I don't want to be me plus some broad, plus some woman. Anyway, we don't have to crash out. It's been a while. We needed this. We haven't done a crash out on women in a long time. We needed this. But yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know what made me think of it. Like I'm sitting here like, you know, these girls on TikTok got the wrong idea. Like I'm this sweetie pie, like I'm this really nice person. I think I'm a warm person. I'm not a very nice person. I'm pretty moody. The idea that I'm sitting here waiting for some like stupid fucking bitch to rock my world and make me happy, like get the fuck out of here with that, please. So what was the question again? You're praying every day for you to find your wife. Oh, me too, brother. It's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard. I like my life. Do you know, like, my life is filled with laughter and happiness because you know what I do? You know what makes me happier than anything? It's a beautiful overcast day. It's 70 degrees out. I throw on a hoodie. I get in my convertible. I put on my favorite song and I just go and I drive. And I think about my life. I think about ideas and I throw my head back and I laugh. And then I throw my head back and I have this easy, effortless laugh, this unforced, effortless, light, easy little laugh. And then I go and I get hot dogs, I get pizza. And then you know what happens? My phone starts blowing up. People start texting me, nagging me, look at me, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then I say, fuck. Then I have to deal with people, deal with stuff. That's my life. So you got to enjoy, you really need to enjoy the solitude. That's what I found about life. Solitude is our greatest gift, to really just be alone. And you don't need much. You just need the weather. That's all you need. Take a walk, enjoy the weather, sometimes music, sometimes a little treat. That's really what life is about. You don't need all the drama. You don't need all the attachments. You don't need all these entangling alliances with wives and women and peers and colleagues, and just enjoy that. That's me. That's sort of my philosophy. Okay, that's my life philosophy. But anyway,
Jesus first sent $20. Whedon or Glen Ellen?
I don't know, dude. Neither. What's going on in Wheaton or Glen Ellen? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Glen Ellen, I like driving around Glen Ellen. I like driving around there. Too many cops. There's some neighborhoods you drive through and the cops are so up your ass, because I like to drive around late at night. And when I was in Glen Ellen the other day driving around, and these cops are they're everywhere, man. It's like, dude, let a nigga live. I was in Winnetka driving one day. They're everywhere. It's like, let me breathe. I guess it's good, though. It's better, than the alternative. But you got to find those like pockets that are in between the ghetto and like the police state where they leave you alone.
Who is responsible for what they need to pay? Everything was fine before like 2014.
Was it though? Was it really fine before 20? It was pretty bad. It had been pretty bad. It started to get bad around like 2004. And I've been thinking about this a lot. There was like this after 9/11, everybody became right wing. Anti-Muslim, patriotic, right? All that. We're going to war. Fuck the French, right? And within a couple of years, you started to get this like liberal backlash against the war, against Bush, against the war in Iraq, the unilateral declaration of war. You started to get the pushback saying that like, there's all these innocent Muslims that are good. Then, in combination with that, you started to get all this weird race stuff, like Kramer getting canceled. Then you got that movie Crash, and then Trayvon Martin in 2008. And slowly but surely, this was like the pre-woke, the birthplace of woke. It was really a backlash against Bush, I feel like, and all the feelings that happened back then. And then Obama just took it in this progressive direction, race communist direction. It was bad. People forget how bad it was. In many ways, things are so much better now than they were 10, 15 years ago, because I remember what it was like. You might remember what it was like in the 2010s. It was brutal, man. It was, and things are bad now, but it's pretty nuts what you could get away with these days. Back then, it was rough. You couldn't be against immigration. You couldn't be against any of this shit. And it was suffocating. It was oppressive. And everything was just more female, more black, more immigrant, more gay every year, more. It just felt like they were expanding their control constantly. It was not good. People were afraid. People were like neutered. You couldn't say anything back then. Well, you could, of course, but you'd get punished for it. That's what happened to me. But yeah, those were some dark times.
When are you going to start making Pink America First hats for us Roy Pets? It would be a great business opportunity. You are going to have to accept the fact that you do have actual female fans eventually, King. We love you.
We don't want to encourage that. We don't want to encourage women. I'm trying to actually discourage women. If you're a woman, I'm trying to demoralize you. I'm trying to discourage you. I'm trying to encourage you to get married. You're supposed to get married. Don't talk as much. I think every woman could afford to talk less. There's a lot of good women out there. I think every woman could afford to talk a little bit less. That's my helpful advice. As a man, my advice is let's just talk less, don't talk as much, and, just try to focus on being pleasant for a change instead of telling me your opinions. Like, so here, for example, when I'm assuming this is real, I'm sure it's not though. When you say you need to do this, you need to do that, hey, women, if you are starting a sentence with you need to, let's just change that and just not talk instead. As women, let's all take a vow. You guys, not me. As women, you guys should all take a vow and say, The next time I start a sentence with you need to, you should, have you, let's just not talk. Let's just not talk at all, actually, instead. And let's just smile. Just smile. Just give us a big smile. Let's just give a compliment. Women should focus more on complimenting men, being sexy, being kind of playful, fun, and not so fucking bossy. Women are women are annoying as fuck because you know what women do now all the time is just like tell you what to do, tell you what you're doing wrong, tell you their opinion. You know what I think? It's like, I don't care actually. And what women should do more of is just sort of give compliments and be pleasant, be hospitable, be warm, make people feel good about themselves. They should do more of that. And then if they've established rapport, then he could tell. Because men don't do this. Men don't come around and say, hey, stranger, you need to do this. You need to do that. I mean, I guess they do, but I respect it more because it's coming from a man. And men are smarter, as we all know. Men are smarter, so I'm actually, when a man says you need to do this, you need to do that, and it depends on the guy, but I'm going to sit down and listen because men are smarter, braver, stronger, have responsibilities. Women should just be more like, you know what my favorite words are when a woman talks? I made cookies. I love you. I love you. I love you. Get over here. Those are the best words in the English language that a woman could speak. Something like, yeah, I love your haircut. I love the way you look. I made dinner. I made cookies. I made you a sandwich. It's like, wow, you're awesome. But when women come at me and they're like, you need to do this, you need to do that, I'm just like, shut up. So that's just a little advice, little helpful advice for all the women out there trying to secure an awesome guy like me, trying to secure, a great husband like me. I'm just giving you here's a little piece of advice.
Rome stood paramount among the rest, sent $21. In regards to last night, what kind of credulous, Fox News watching asshole thinks the rich will leave New York and California? Those are the finest places to be if you're rich. They're going to trade the weather, culture, food, energy, prestige of address, etc. for alligators and meth in Florida.
Yeah, seriously. Total Fox News brain. Sean Hannity told me New York is going to fall. Sean Hannity said that when this Muslim socialist gets elected, they're all going to move to Miami. Brother, get real, dude. Turn off the TV.
Jesus first sent $20. Do you call it the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower? This is a deal breaker. Mother of Roy Bling sent $35. Genuinely appreciate you not letting me fully dox myself last night. Embarrassed smiley face emoji. I'm a musician at a great conservatory breaking into the pro orchestra world. You have fans even in a field as morally abhorrent as classical music. I'm sure you remember how bad kids were in HS. It's so much worse.
Yeah, well, love to hear it. The musicians are so weird though. Yes, the band kids were freaks. And listen, I was in band, I played an instrument, but I wasn't a band kid, okay? There were legit band kids. I was only in marching band because you had to be in marching band to play an instrument in school. But these other guys, man, they took it so seriously, and half of them were just freaks. They were fine, but they were weird kids. That's a very true stereotype. So.
Bro Upper Nigga 67 sent $20. Brandon Tatum got to be one of the biggest retards with his Israel stance. The guy had nothing to refute Myron. Myron hit him with fact after fact and he had absolutely nothing other than a disagree, and that's not true. Spoiler, it was true. Dude sold out to Israel for 5 bands in a Snickers bar. Pretty sad. Stay safe, Nick.
Thank you, man. Yeah, dude, he's a coon. That is a straight up coon. That's just what he is. He does it for free. He goes, I don't take money from Israel. I don't take money. Oh, you do it for free then? Wow. Wow. Good boy. Good boy. Wow. Good job. Good job, Ossifer. Ossifer, please. I can't breathe. Ossifer. Good job, Ossifer Tatum. You do it for free. Good boy. He's shilling for Israel for free. Don't even need to get paid. That's a good boy.
Julia Stomp sent $25.
The best.
Day 2 of asking Nick to help pay for my college tuition. I just need like $200, Nick. I can DM you my Venmo.
Dude.
Okay, thanks, love you.
Can't.
Operation
That's
Redback
fake.
2.0 sent $100. This guy cares enough to pronounce Qatar the right way for Muslims, but won't respect the history of his fellow Catholics in Albania and still continues to refer to us as Slavs. Bro, your name sounds Mexican. You look like a half-breed Scottish/Irish, but somehow you claim to be Italian. Someone get this nigga some milk.
Dude, you are a monkey. You are a toy. You are a monkey, bro. You're lucky that we let you live in Europe. You should just be grateful, okay? You're lucky we even let you on the team, fucking retard. Yeah, you get to sit on the bench and everybody cheers. You know, you're like the disabled kid that they let play on the team. You're lucky we give you that much. Let's not go crazy here, okay? Just relax. You know, it's getting really hard to keep this whole pro-white thing together when you got Slav monkeys talking out of place like that.
David Cadrock has sent $30. Nick, where do we go from here? Do you think the problems we see today are repairable on its own course? I don't condone an insurrection, but is there a third option?
Oh, shut the fuck up and kill yourself.
Corny White sent $25. Just wanted to thank you for your impassioned and unapologetic defense of La La Land. I got called gay for giving it a 10 out of 10, so it was a major relief to be vindicated by the leader of the white race. Favorite song/scene?
I don't know. We want to go that far, but it is objectively one of the greatest movies of all time. And if you can't recognize that, I think you need to come to grips with your sexuality. Okay? There's nothing gay about loving objectively one of the greatest movies of all time. What's not to like? Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, a killer soundtrack. It's in LA. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's pleasant. We can get past these hang-ups, okay? We can like what we like. We can be who we are. We can like La La Land. Matt Walsh, you can like La La Land. You don't need to play this character. The bravest thing of all is to just be who you are. And I like La La Land. Is that a crime now? I like White Lotus. I like La La Land.
Sire.
Have ICE arrest me. Have DHS arrest me. Is that a crime? Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Or am I free to go? Favorite song? Oh, City of Stars. Another Day of Sun. But I also like the one when they're getting ready. What's the one when she's getting ready for her date? That's a pretty good song, too. I think it's Another Day of Sun, right? Such a great soundtrack. So awesome. I got to watch it again. We got to run it back. You got me wanting to watch it again. Favorite scene? That's got to be the ending. The ending is just classic. So good. That's us. That's who we are. That's our culture. That's white culture. That's who we are. I mean, well, it's a movie about a guy that likes jazz. Okay, that part's not really, but the rest of it.
Gasoline Willie sent
That's
$20.
us.
You're operating on a sharper level than many, including Tucker and Candace, and I know they attacked you first. But isn't one of the hardest tests of leadership proving unity even after betrayal? If strong voices keep clashing instead of finding common ground, doesn't division hand victory to the corrupt by default? African American.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The hardest test of leadership is like getting betrayed. Like after someone betrays you, working with them anyway. I mean, look, I'd be open to working with them, but they started it. And that doesn't mean we can never work together again, but it means there needs to be some grace on the other side. I can't, look, they're more powerful than me, both of them. They lied about me first. I have told no lies about them. They have lied about me and have been attacking me for years. So unity is not out of the question, but you fight until you win. You don't forgive your enemy and let them kill you.
Colago sent $35. Leftist Jews were often communists, believing that communism, which is just basically insane statist violence, would never come for them. Mainstreaming it in culture and schools, treating it as holy doctrine, and it's coming for them.
No, dude, I totally disagree. It's statist violence, dude. Communism is statist violent, brother. What are you talking about, man? Statist, insane statist violent, brother. Oh, you know how you sound? Sound like a libertarian when you say that. And trust me, that's got nothing to do with it. It's the diversity. It's not the communists that are coming for them. It's the diversity that's coming for them. It's that brown people hate Jews, okay? Because Jews are bombing them all the time.
Put one sent $50. What did you learn from streaming with Clavicle? Also grow back your quarantine beard.
I learned about some of the protocols they're doing, but I don't like biohacking. I don't like messing with this finely tuned machine here. You know, they say you do these things, it makes you bigger, faster, stronger, smarter. I don't know. I feel like you start to mess with yourself, and I'm afraid of the unintended side effects as always. I don't like biohacking. I think there's a lot of hubris involved in that. He looks great though. You can't deny it's working. The physique is incredible. The face maxing is great. I mean, he's like a specimen. He looks like an absolute specimen. So it works, but I just question, are you trading off other aspects of your health or years on your life? It freaks me out. I don't like all that shit.
Colago sent $20. Relatively new viewer. Could I get a quick history lesson on the Bolshevik Revolution and maybe its connection with our more modern tiny hat problem?
Oh, gosh. No, you sound like an idiot. On our tiny hat problem? Shut the fuck up. Just say Jews, idiot. I really hate this, like, glib bullshit when people say the Austrian painter, the certain guy from the 30s, they're tiny hats. Like, shut the fuck up, fag. That's one. Two, can I get a quick history lesson? Brother, ChatGPT is free. ChatGPT is free. Okay, stupid?
Cameron sent $25.
I could give you a quick history lesson, but when you ask for it like that, you just I don't want to indulge this faggoty ass super chat by doing it.
Cameron sent $25. So the whole Israel-Palestine conflict is all because of Britain made too many false promises to both sides and then they just dumped it off to the UN to handle? Genuine question, please roast me if I'm completely wrong or if you answered this a million times already. I'm a new viewer. By the way, love the intros before the show.
Total oversimplification. So basically the British were like, fuck it, they made a bunch of... Shut up, dude. You know, you guys are just... You need to recognize that you are stupid and just kind of try and respect that fact. So then the British were like, fuck it. And then they invaded, like, frickin' everybody. Bullshit. Reddit historian logged on. Never invade Russia in the winter. Shut up. So pretty much the whole fucking thing is because Britain said, fuck it. And they made a bunch of promises and we're like, oops, oh shit, we can't keep up our promises. Yeah, dipshit. It was a clerical error. No, dumbass. The Jews were emancipated by Napoleon. What happened in the turn of the 19th century, the Napoleonic Wars? Napoleon invaded Europe to create a continental system. Along the way, he instituted a Napoleonic code, emancipated the Jews on the basis of his liberal ideology. The Jews got organized. They became powerful. All of Europe was racing towards something in the 19th century. Industrially, economically, militarily, intellectually. It came to a head with the unification of Germany, convulsions that happened in the first half of the 20th century, and Jews, like everybody else, were doing the same thing. And in response to the age-old Jewish question, they got together in Basel, Switzerland, in the, I believe it was the early 1880s. I might be off by a decade. And they got together and they made a plan to colonize Palestine. And they undertook a deliberate effort. There were several aliyahs in the late 19th, early 20th century where they sent thousands of Jews, bought land from the Turks, settled, built farms, and they tried to create this Jewish state. And to the extent that the British were involved in the Balfour Declaration, you're talking about Sykes-Picot and Balfour. The British came into possession of the Ottoman territories, the British and the French did. But it precedes that. The Sykes-Picot Agreement was preceded by the Balfour Declaration, and that is a deal where Jews in Britain and the United States leveraged each other to bring the United States into the war, and the Jews would convince Woodrow Wilson to do that, and in exchange, the British would give the Jews in the United Kingdom the Balfour Declaration and talk about this aspiration for a Jewish state in Palestine. But it didn't end there. Then, under the British mandate, the Jews continued their slow and steady occupation. They built up militias, they built up a security force. With the Havara Agreement, many Jews settled into Israel. And the Zionists terrorized the Jews in Mesopotamia, they terrorized the Jews in Eastern Europe to drive them into the Middle East. And eventually, securing backing from American Zionist Jews, they got the declaration, they got American recognition, they ran drugs into Israel. So no, it's not a clerical error. So the British, they overpromised and they were like, fuck it. No, dumbass. No, this was an intentional. And by the way, this process portrays how, here's a question for you. If all of this is about the secular Jewish state of Israel, then how did the secular Jewish state of Israel come into existence? Because it was a transnational Jewish community which created the secular state of Israel. There was already existing an international Jewish power that was so mighty and so influential that it was able to create a state out of these world wars, out of these developments over generations. Think of that. That tells you a little bit about the nature of the problem. So that's the real story.
Steve Swan sent $20. I think the exact same way as you and believe in God. I act normal and don't support the alphabet community, but I am gay. Always have been and have tried to change my attraction.
There's
what are
that.
your thoughts on a person such as me and that I support and watch your show?
Well, first of all, stop saying the alphabet community. I'm one of those normal ones. I'm not part of the alphabet mafia. Well, you're supposed to just try to not be. That's really the answer. I mean, you're supposed to try to get married to a woman if possible, or you have to be chaste, or try your best to be chaste, but there is no scenario where you just embrace that lifestyle, and that's good. That's not good. And unfortunately, there's not a ton of good options for you, but that's really what it is. And there's no way that anybody could ever say, well, you know, you could be a little gay. It's like, you really can't. Like, It is deeply depraved and immoral and unnatural. And I understand that you might not be able to help that, but you have to just try to be disciplined to the best of your ability. That's really the answer. But, there's nothing normal about being gay, unfortunately. You say, I act normal and I don't support the community. It's like, well, you know what's not normal? Two guys kissing or having anal sex. By definition, it's not normal, and by definition, it is depraved. And so you just have to try not to do that. You have to try not to do that.
Randy's got that fat pussy sent $21.
Try to work on. Okay, we can't keep reading it. You have to just try to not do that as much as you
$69
can.
sent $20. You still drink like monsters? At Whiteout Monster Enjoyer 150K plus grill actors and insects.
I do. I feel though it's not as good as coffee. I don't know about you guys, but I get a much better kick from coffee than I get from Monster. And there's less caffeine. I get a much better kick from regular drip coffee than from a Monster. If I drink like a 12-ounce regular cup of coffee, I'm wired. If I drink a Monster, not as much. Coffee's just like a superpower. Everything else, not as much. I don't know what it is about the coffee, but it's just, I'm like way more dialed in. Monster makes me feel like shit. Monster, it gives you energy sometimes, but you kind of feel shitty. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a dirtier high. I feel like you drink coffee and it's like, it's a cleaner high. Is that just me, or do you feel the same way? That's how I feel.
Danny sent $22. You have a great smile. Nick, that's all. Google sent $50. Mission market back on Piper. It's
I'm not gonna do that. Okay, all right, that's the last super chat. That's gonna do it for me. Our other story tonight is about Bibi Netanyahu's address this afternoon, also at the United Nations at the General Assembly. And what was notable about the speech, I'm sure you saw the picture, virtually every delegate at the UN got up and walked out of the room when Netanyahu took to the dais and began his speech. And the image is like freaky. It's Netanyahu speaking to a completely empty room. Do you realize the significance of this? In our lifetime, Israel has become a complete pariah. In like 2 years, Netanyahu is going to enter the halls of history alongside like Hitler, Milosevic, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi. It's like that level. In the same way that Gaddafi was talking about going door to door, killing people, in the same way that Saddam Hussein was invading all his neighbors and gassing everybody, the Prime Minister of Israel is being seen as like a bloodthirsty, genocidal dictator, and rightly so. That is what pariah status looks like. That is what complete ostracism looks like. They have lost the entire world in 2 years because it wasn't always like this. You go back to 2015, and Netanyahu gave a speech when the Iranian nuclear deal was being negotiated, and he gave a speech to a packed house showing his diagram of how Iran is 90% of the way to a nuclear bomb. That was 10 years ago. I've never seen anything like that. The whole world got up and turned their back to him and walked out. Because that is how the world sees Israel. That is what complete diplomatic isolation looks like. They've lost everybody. They've lost everyone in Latin America, everyone in Africa, Russia and China, everyone in Europe, everyone in the Middle East, even Egypt. The Egyptian government had a document this week. They described Israel as an enemy. They even they've lost everybody. And Netanyahu gets up and gives a speech defiantly. And the message is, we will not let the world cram a Palestinian state down our throats. In other words, even if the whole world wants them to stop murdering in Gaza, even if the whole world does not want them to erase Palestine from the map, they're going to do it anyway. This is a story from the New York Times. It says, quote, Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel ruled out calls for a Palestinian state during a combative speech at the UN on Friday, saying the recognition of Palestine by more than 150 countries was disgraceful and vowing to finish the job against Hamas in the war in the Gaza Strip. He said, quote, Israel will not allow you to shove a terror state down our throats. He said accepting an independent Palestine would be national suicide for Israel and that it would be a mark of shame for the countries that supported it, a group that includes the vast majority of the UN membership. The U.S. is the sole member of the UN Security Council that has not recognized Palestine. Think about that. Mr. Netanyahu's speech was the first at Friday's session of the annual meeting of the General Assembly, and many delegates and leaders either had not arrived, were boycotting, or walked out when he took the podium. The image of the Israeli Prime Minister speaking to a hall where much of the applause came from his own delegation seemed to underline the fears by some Israelis that the country is heading toward pariah status. I think you're already there, actually. Mr. Netanyahu's tone throughout his speech, which lasted around 40 minutes, was defiant. He said Israel would continue to hunt down its enemies, describing them as part of a network led by Iran. He recounted the attacks that Israel led against its enemies in Iran, Lebanon, and Yemen over the past year. Now, there's a very important point to understand about this, because this is truly remarkable and notable that Israel has lost every battle. There's a few points to be made here. A lot of people think that this is a Netanyahu problem. You know, a lot of people are reluctant to blame the Jews. They're reluctant to blame Israel. They're even reluctant to blame the Israeli government. People don't like to do that because the idea that an entire people or an entire country or even that entire country's government, the idea that like the generality is wicked, it's hard for people to accept. We're programmed to not like that. We're pre-programmed with these platitudes where we say, you know, the Russian people are not so different than us. It's their government. It's Putin. The Chinese people are not so bad. It's their government. It's Xi Jinping. It's the Chinese Communist Party. This is like a very liberal idea. And so we talk about Israel, people like to say, well, it's their government. There's many fine people in Israel, and it's not even everyone in their government. It's just the Likud party. It's just the prime minister. The prime minister is holding the country hostage for his own political purposes. He is making Israel a pariah state. They need to reject him. But that's wrong. That's all wrong. Let's be very clear. It is the entire Israeli government that supports this. Okay? It's not just Netanyahu. It's everyone in the Israeli government. It's like 99 out of 120 members of the Israeli Knesset are in favor of this policy. And 80% of Israel supports the policy. Come on. So when people say it's just Netanyahu, I would recommend you read Benny Gantz's op-ed in the New York Times from a couple of days ago. The leader of the opposition against the governing coalition in the Israeli government wrote an op-ed in the New York Times, and he rejected that idea forcefully himself. Benny Gantz, the leader of the opposition, said, if you're against Israel's annexation of Gaza and the West Bank, he said, you're not against Netanyahu. He said, you're against Israel. On the contrary, he said, if you are against what Israel is doing, you're not against the prime minister. He said, we all support this. You're against the bipartisan security consensus of the whole nation, of all the people and all the governments. So the idea that Netanyahu is leading his country down this evil path, kicking and screaming, that's not true. If Netanyahu was replaced by a vote of no confidence, if he's replaced in the next elections in the spring, he will be replaced by somebody who will do the same thing. They all support this. They're all firmly behind him. He's got a majority in the government. And most people support what he's doing. So let's be very clear. It is Israel. It's not just Netanyahu. It is the Israeli government, and on some level, it is the Israeli people. That's the extent of the issue there. Okay? It is this Jewish nationalism in Israel that is driving this. That's what it is. It is this Judaic nationalism, which is based on Jewish heritage, national identity, ethnic or religious supremacist views. The Israelis really believe that because they were attacked on October 7th, this now gives them the right to wipe out the West Bank and Gaza. Like, they all believe that now. They all believe that the status quo that prevailed previously is now unacceptable. Because if Hamas was able to attack, then they cannot tolerate the existence of a Palestinian state so close to their population core. So they got to go. And that policy is what has turned the whole world against them. And to that they say, so be it. To that they say, we will pursue autarky. We will go at it alone. They say, Netanyahu said this last week, he said, we will become a Sparta-like country that the whole world is against, and we will withstand the pressure from the whole world. They'll do it at any cost. Here's the second point about this. Understand that we are attached at the hip with Israel. If Israel is headed towards pariah status, they're dragging us with them. Think about the moment that we are in. The dollar is rapidly losing its reserve currency status, and that's going to create a sovereign debt crisis for America because we can't unload all of our debt. We are in an inflection point where the world is going from unipolar to multipolar. And we're fighting for hegemony. We're fighting for supremacy. In Latin America, for trade and market share, we're fighting in the Pacific to contain China. We're fighting in Europe and the Middle East, in Africa. Everywhere in the world, it's become part of a chessboard for this long-term strategic competition between the U.S. and China and Russia. And we need allies now more than ever as a country. In order for us to maintain hegemony from a strategic point of view, we want to attract countries like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Turkey, Brazil, South Africa, let's say, India. It's not helping that we are being dragged into isolation by Israel. It's not helping that the whole world hates Israel and all the world's governments are against Israel, and we are having to fight Israel's battles. We're having to prevent the world from sanctioning Israel, from kicking Israel out of its other organizations, from boycotting Israel. What is the benefit, actually? They're doing things that we don't even support. Like, they're going against our strategy in the Middle East, and our support for that is alienating us from the entire world. So make that one make sense. We pay for policies we don't even like, which we support, and our support for those policies that we hate, that we're paying for, but supporting anyway, is alienating us from the entire world and making us lose position relative to our strategic competitors. And this is where you realize what needs to be done. It's not complicated. It's difficult, but it's not complicated. The American president has to put his foot down and restrain Israel. That's what it comes down to. It's like, we're so far past the point, people say, treat Israel like any other country. Stop sending them foreign aid. No, like, we need to confront Israel like an adversary. We need to confront Israel like we confront Putin, like we confront Xi Jinping, like we confront North Korea. How is Israel better than North Korea Korea at this point. North Korea is not committing a genocide. How many people has North Korea killed in the past 10 years?
A message from the abbot.
When's the last time North Korea bombed a defenseless population? Like, think about that. Israel is the pariah state in the entire world. More so than Russia, more so than China, more so than Iran, North Korea. They are the pariah state of the world. Forget about we should treat them like every other country. If that were the case, we need to be sanctioning Israel. Forget about not sending them weapons. We need to put sanctions on them. We need to condemn them in the United Nations. We're the only ones that can stop them. Where's the leadership? The American president has to stand up to this tiny country. You know, for all people say, oh, you think they run the world, they're so tiny. The American president has to stand up to them and say, you are going to stop right now, and you're going to obey, and if you don't, then we're going to pull the plug. I said it last night. It is past time for that to happen. But would you like to know why the American president can't do that? It's because they control our system. It's by design. It's a feature, not a bug. When you think the American president can't confront Israel because he doesn't want to alienate the powerful Jewish billionaires in America, you think, oh, that's a sticky wicket. No, they made it that way. They made it this way. They have us in a chokehold here. The American president cannot go against Israel. Why? Because if he does, the Republican Jewish Coalition, AIPAC, the ADL, the North American Jewish Federation, the organization, a major American Jewish organization, it's all going to come down on that president. Wall Street, BlackRock, Hollywood, LA, mainstream media, it's all coming down on the president and his party. That's exactly what happened to Biden. You know what happened to the last president that tried to restrain Israel? Biden was unwilling to support their war, and look at what they did to him. They traded him out for Trump. That's exactly what happened. The other reason that we can do nothing is because Israel itself has a nuclear arsenal. So if Israel ever felt that it was in peril or imperiled by the United States, they would use their nuclear weapons on us and on the Middle East. It's nuclear blackmail. They are blackmailing the entire world with nuclear weapons. If they were ever under threat of being destroyed, they would nuke the country attacking them. If they did that, they know the whole world would condemn them. So what would they do then? They would nuke every other nuclear country. Who's going to trigger the nuclear war? Israel. That's the Samson option. This is a problem many decades in the making. And at some point, America's going to have to confront it. We have a Jewish problem. And the Jewish problem is that this country has nuclear weapons, and they control our system. They have infiltrated our system. They're billionaires. They're intelligence. They have infiltrated our system, our political system completely. And if we ever started to reverse that, they would use assassinations, targeted violence, divide and conquer, and in the end, if we survived all that, they got nuclear bombs. That's the reality. That is the security reality of planet Earth right now. Nobody wants to admit it, but that's what's going on. Now, you could say that Russia's our adversary, China's our adversary. Here's the difference. They don't control our system. Russia and China can be confronted and condemned and negotiated with because they don't control our system. The Jews control our system, and they have a nuclear power in the Middle East. That's what makes it unique. So at some point, Someone is going to have to name the problem, confront the problem. People talk about the Jews are afraid. Dude, we're afraid. People say Jewish students are afraid to go to classes. Dude, the world is afraid. Palestinians are afraid. Palestinians are afraid because they're getting bombed every day. Lebanon is afraid because they're getting bombed every day. Iran is afraid because they're getting assassinated all the time. American presidents are afraid because they're getting threatened and assassinated all the time. Jews are afraid. We are afraid. So when people take a look at the show and they say it doesn't sound good when you talk about it's Jews, it's Israel, you know, what about the Holocaust? Dude, what about that? They are in power now. What about that? There's a Holocaust happening now. It's real. It's happening in Gaza. And no one can stop them. If the narrative about Hitler is that he was rounding up defenseless people and systematically murdering them, and no one could stop him because of his war machine, that's literally what is happening in Israel. To the extent that that's the narrative about the Holocaust, that's literally happening with Israel right now. So people say, don't talk about Jews, don't talk about Israel. That's anti-Semitic. What about the Holocaust? Dude, what about it? That's our reality today. And people are saying, you can't talk about it this way, you can't criticize it because Jews are afraid? Dude, we're afraid. The whole world is afraid. Netanyahu is standing there in an empty room screaming and yelling, but no one can stop him. No one can, they are like Sparta. They are the war island. And everyone is terrified of Mossad, of their nuclear bombs, their control over America. They're the only country that has all that on lock. And I'm just hoping that basically God intervenes to disempower them.
Message from the Abbot.
In an historic way, because that is the only thing that's going to save the planet at this point. It's scary. It's freaky.
A message from the Kahuna.
I have watched over the temple my entire life. I should not fail
A message from the Kahuna. A message from the Abbot.
Heavens above, so you can fight.
لنصرك طريق طويل الشفرة حادة مستحيل روحي متعطشة مستحيل الشفرة حادة ملاك الانتقام مستحيل سوف يكون نحن كلكم معي مستحيل حتما أبدي انشعابة الموت كما ترغب نحن على استعداد حتما الموت الأبدي
Message from the Sultan.
The bond is dying in the Sultan's crisis.
طريق طويل طريق طويل
Message from the Sultan.
The red sky approaches the Sultan's fortress.
الشفرة الحادة انشغال
Sultan.
As all must sleep the sleep of the ancients, so must the poor Sultan.
A message from the abbot.
Heavens above, so you can fight.
هدفنا مستحيل. نحن على استعداد. مستحيل. نحن في خدمة تحت أمرك. هلم نزحف.
A message from the pig. A message from the pig.
الشفرة الحاد.
A message from the pig. A message from the abbot.
Heavens
We're
above,
really in trouble.
so you can fight.
سنترك حالا.
It's drag queens in schools. It's 18-year-olds joining OnlyFans. It's the filth on TikTok. It's this country not having a border. It's the idea that our kids and we, this generation, are never going to own anything. Think about it. Never making money from a family. Never being able to have a family. People being corrupted by things on the so
A message from the snake.
We have captured the castle, my lord.
There is no future if we do nothing now. There is nothing to lose. People
A
are
message from the
scrambling,
abbot.
trying to protect
Heavens
their
above,
share
so you
of
can
what they
fight.
have
سوف تتم.
are foolish. It's all going away. This country is
Assassins
being
are scaling the
bought,
walls, sire.
raped, and looted.
Buildings are on
A message from the
In
abbot.
some cases,
The apple is under siege.
we're assassinated.
Send help.
And we're killing ourselves every day. See, people have got to start to radically begin to obey their
هدفنا
conscience.
مستحيل.
Tell the truth and
نحن
do
في
the right
خدمتك.
thing. People have got to start to get courageous. And this is the time for everybody to turn what you got. Pray, to ask for strength, and to ask for wisdom to get through this time. Pray for and sanctify this country. Not about waiting for someone to come in and change the policy and make it better.
Message from the Nazir. message from the Nazir.
Your end is coming. It runs towards you. Can you hear it? كما ترغب. طريق طويل.
When I get home, I want you. Hello, I got places to be.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. We paved the way with our corpses. Roipers and all the alt-righters that got banned, all the alt-righters that got slandered, even people that killed
طريق
themselves.
طويل.
Our corpses paved the way for you now to walk over. And you can't give us acknowledgement. Now you want to slam the door on us. It's not right. It's not right.
I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. For the creation
place
waits
that
in
there, my
eager
lord.
expectation for the children of God to be revealed. We know that the whole creation has been groaning, as in the pains of childbirth, right up to
الحصان سريع.
not only so,
الحصان
but we
سريع.
ourselves, who have the first fruits of the
إلى
Spirit,
نهاية الأرض.
groan inwardly, as we wait eagerly for our adoption to sonship, the redemption of the
الحصان سريع.
For in this
بأمرك.
hope we were saved. But hope that
إلى
is
نهاية
seen
الأرض.
is no hope at all. Who hopes for what they already have? But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently.
We are under attack.
There is something involved where we have
الحصان
to
سريع.
forgive them. We do have to forgive them for their ignorance. We do have to forgive them
إلى
for
نهاية
their
الأرض.
misunderstanding. And we have to embrace them and say, better late than never. Welcome to the right side of history. Welcome to our massive vision, our massive and ambitious vision for how we want the world to be.
We are under attack.
Where's Miss Susan? ننتظر. لا من أسرع. الشفرة حاد. روحي متعطشة. المسيرة طويلة. Wood needed.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through him all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. light, and that light is the light of all mankind.
Constructing siege equipment.
And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head,
نحن تحت أمرك. نذهب.
and you will strike his heel.
طريق طويل.
Jesus said to him, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will
نحن
never die.
أبطال. اركب مثل الريح.
Do you believe this? I am sending you like sheep among wolves. Therefore be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Then Jesus came to them and said, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have told you. And surely I am with you always, to the death and the end.
Whether you're conservative or liberal, right wing or left wing, the answer is no. We're never going back. It's done. It's gone. All of that is gone. But I would call myself something like a Christian futurist instead. Because Jesus Christ was our past before any of us were born into sin. Jesus Christ is our present now, and Jesus Christ is our future after he died on earth. We want this century to be the most Christian century in the history of planet Earth. We love everyone, and we want people that can burn, really work. But this country can no longer be held hostage by a small minority that doesn't believe. The mission of our leaders is to make this country the mission is to create a Christian future in our time. The only way we're going to do it is not by infiltrating, not by subverting, not by lying, which is what a lot of people do. The only way we're going to make this happen is with the boldness of a real Christian. The only way. We do not be willing to die for Jesus Christ. We have to find more than they do. Because there are thousands, millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of Christians ready to meet their final destiny. Then nothing can stop us, and nothing will.
When I get home, I want you. Hello, I got places to be.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight.
مولاي نحييك.
Palantir is an AI data analytics company. They use artificial intelligence to look at vast amounts of data and create insights. If the government has an amount of data which is kind of unimaginable, if you've got every phone call, every email, every transaction, every photograph of a license plate on the highway, satellite data, there's too much data for a bureaucracy to sift through. Palantir comes in and interprets the data using algorithms, using artificial intelligence, using software to make vast amounts of data usable. That's what they are. And so many of the people that worked with Elon that came into the government through Doge worked with Palantir. Now that Doge is finished, Palantir seems to be just getting started.
Constructing siege equipment. مولاي مولاي هذا الجو ثقيل.
Recruits needed, sire.
أمرنا. Retire, my lord?
Thank you so much, everybody. Can I just say, are you trusting Fran
When I get home, I want you. Hello, I got places to be.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes.
the reservoir. He wouldn't let them have the other water from reservoirs. He had them not test the fire hydrants. He had them not deliver fire trucks the next morning. He declared it a 50-minute city. He blocked the permits. He declared an emergency and gave the rebuilding to his friends. Renderneck did it. Arrest made in Palisades fire investigation. Multiple law enforcement sources say. There are hundreds of videos of leftists running around setting fires. They always go out when there's high winds. They're demons. They have envy. They hate the nice houses. But it was the larger political system that did it. And so I meant to cover this a few months ago, do the deep dive, and I did cover it, but not as much as I wanted to.